We deserve a round of applause for that. How do you do a round? If you say round, what does it go? It goes like this. So you're adding applause to it. So you're doing a round of applause. Correct. Now, we started this journey since 2022. The first ecosystem engagement we held was in February of 2022, where it was still sketchy, people were still reluctant, they didn't really understand what we wanted to achieve with it. But because we see that operating in an ecosystem leverages on our collaborative power. That's number one. Number two is our ability to also compete in our respective spaces. Business is about competition, right? But sometimes you also need to collaborate to get the best out of situations. Do you agree with me? Good. So we now call it a collaboration. The ecosystem is now a collaboration, bringing collaboration and balance. That's the only thing that can keep us going. We want to sustain this ecosystem, we need to collaborate. And you will see from this backdrop banner that there are a lot of collaborations, a lot of sponsors, a lot of interest, partners. There are more than this. But if we decide to put the logos or the insignias of everybody, we wouldn't have any content. It's just going to be logos. All right? But that's to also tell you that it's gradual, it's moving. Right? The first 3 engagements we had were fully funded by GIZ through the Go Power Worldwide Consultants project. That's the ICSS. But we transitioned into a situation where actors within the ecosystem also now drive the process. So from the 4th to the 5th, and now we're on the 6th, it has been driven by the ecosystem actors. So they deserve a power clap. Power clap? No. Power clap? Power clap. From this side, power clap. From this side, power clap. From this side, power clap. Good. Because we are in it together. Trust me. You all have a role to play in the ecosystem. They say a tree doesn't make a forest. Do you believe it? It's a lie. Pardon me. It's a lie. Somebody doesn't believe it's a lie. I'm just joking, it's true. A tree does not make a forest. So we need to also pull resources together. We've had a lot of support this time around. Yes, GIZ is still there. Particularly, I want to appreciate the effort of Sterling Bank this time around for their huge support. And we have their Chief Product Officer here with us. So let's give Sterling Bank 2 power claps. Power clap. Wait for the call now. Now blood to the hot. Power clap. Power clap. Good. And this is Sterling Bank. So in case you don't know, this is Sterling Bank. Only him is Sterling Bank. They say they want to see you, Mustafa. All right. So let's give him a round of applause as it stands. So that's Sterling, a very good supporter of the ecosystem. We also have LSCTF. Lagos State what? Lagos State what? Is it employment or empowerment? Okay, you see there's a confusion now. So I want to give her the mic to tell us the real meaning of LSCTF because people mistake it.
Lagos State Employment Trust Fund.
So this is Fumi from LSCTF. They are also a very big supporter of the ecosystem. Let's give them 2 power claps. Power clap. Power clap. Good. We also have other BMOs. NACI. Is there a representative from NACI? Okay, maybe she's on her way. We also have NASME. So NASME is here, a very big supporter of the ecosystem. Nigerian Association for Small Medium Enterprises, correct? Small and medium. So let's give them power clap. Good. We also have the ICSS partner organizations. Because like I said, this whole thing was bettered during the course of the ICSS. So whatever it is we have today standing as the ecosystem has been championed and still being championed by the ICSS partner organizations. Some of them are here, and I would want them to stand up for recognition. I have the CEO of Web of Hearts Foundation here. We call her Mama B. If you know the meaning of the B, see me after for a prize. We also have Hope Builders Foundation. Can you imagine? She has gone to sit at the registration desk. So as she's coming to the front, please continue clapping until she gets here. Let her come and sit with us here. Good. She's the CEO of Hope Builders Foundation. Good. Now I call her, because I have a Mama B, I call her Mama Hope. Because she gives me hope. She gives the ecosystem hope all the time. Thank you very much. We have ValueCon. Lillian is not here. But we have representatives from ValueCon. Good. We also have Leverage Platform. Good. We have Knight and Bishop. We have Capstone. We have Last Verb. And as I'm calling Last Verb, the entrepreneurship director of Last Verb just walked in. Isn't this wonderful? That's Mr. Remy Aware. Welcome, sir. So we also have Etiwa Tech. But Etiwa Tech is currently not with us today. But let's give them a round of applause. We also have Shicluded. Representative from Shicluded? Fantastic. Did I leave anybody out? I think we are complete. Good. So I'm particularly mentioning the champions of the ICSS because they are the ones carrying the torch. You know, they are the ones still holding forth what we have done. And in case you don't know, the ICSS was implemented in 5 states in Nigeria over the course of the 3 years that we were on. And we reached 30,000 MSMEs. 30,000 MSMEs. But in Lagos and Edo State, where I was directly involved and my team, we reached 16,000 beneficiaries. So this is what we get for reaching 16,000 beneficiaries. Oh my God. And counting. Because since we ended the project in August, the ICSS partner organizations have been carrying on with it. You know, they've been implementing, and we are very happy. So the numbers are increasing by the day. Okay? And we encourage you not to stop. Now, we can't mention the POs without mentioning the engines that drive this ICSS. Who are they? Who are they? TFCs. Somebody will say tasty fried chicken. Nah, it's not chicken, but it's a trainer, facilitator, and a coach. So if you're a TFC, you're in this room, please stand up for recognition. Thank you. We can't have recorded any success without the TFC community, and we are very proud of all of you. And we encourage you to do more. Right? You know that we are open to Now you see some logos at the top, right? Leke mentioned GIZ, Smedan, and what's the last one on the top? Cardinal Business School. And somebody is wondering how or why. But they are one and the same. Cardinal Business School and Lagos Business School are the two agencies that are certifying BDSPs, that's Business Development Support Service providers. So they are the only two bodies in the country recognized by SMEDAN. So if we have a brother, it also means we have the sister, correct? If we have a sister, it means we have the brother. So this is the arrangement that we have, and there's discussion going on at the top management level of these three organizations to continue to support the development of the ecosystem. And we have received, for this event, we have also received tremendous support from all of these actors. Give her a round of applause as she sits. Oh, you didn't see her. Please stand up again. Please stand up again. Give her a round of applause. Good morning, Lillian. You know, I mentioned ValueCon as one of our very, very strong partners, and Lillian is the CEO of ValueCon. Thank you very much for coming, Lillian. Now, finally, the topic is innovation and digital transformation. I don't want to say anything about it, right? But it's a reality. It's something we all have to embrace, right? Everybody here has a phone, correct? What do you use your phone for? Don't answer. But if I start asking now, I'll hear some very wonderful answers. But what do you use it for? Right? So this kind of gathering is just to enlighten us more how best to innovate and transform digitally. I'll leave it to the experts that have been invited. And on these notes, with your permission, of course, I declare this program open. Thank you very much.
We can do better than that. Can we give? All right. Once again, welcome to this event. And at this juncture, we're about to get new leads of knowledge from, the people we have that have come to speak to us. And I'm going to be introducing the very first person who will speak to us in person of Dr. Ayodele Shitu. Can we have his, so it will be displayed there while I read from here. Okay, so Dr. Ayodele Ibrahim Shitu is an economist, an entrepreneur, and a coach, and is also the immediate past Deputy Director, Entrepreneurship and Skills Development Center, and the immediate past Faculty Examination Officer of Faculty of Social Sciences in University of Lagos. He specializes in the economics of entrepreneurship and innovation. His current research interests include teenage entrepreneurship, youth entrepreneurship, informal sector entrepreneurship and innovations, and university industry collaborations and academic entrepreneurship. He won the Matassa Fellowship in 2016 for his contributions to the advancement of knowledge of youth entrepreneurship in Africa. I thought you would clap for that. He is an active member of the African Network for economics of learning, innovation, and competence building systems. That's AFRILIX. And the Network for Economics of Learning, Innovation, and Competence Building System in Nigeria. That's Nigeria Leaks. Now, with a powerful welcome, a standing ovation, if you may, can we welcome Dr. Ayodele Shitu to this event?
Thank you very much. I consider this to be a very rare privilege to stand before the la creme de la creme. You know, usually they say la creme de la creme. But today I have learned that you must always come up with new words. And when I heard collaboration, I said to myself, what else do I have to say before this August gathering? Because collaboration, for me, is an innovation. Please clap your hands for Mr. Lawal. And number two is the fact that the A to Z of my presentation this morning, even though I had very little time, was to emphasize the role of an ecosystem building strategy. And listening to Mr. Lawal's opening remark, we have the Sterling Bank, the LSCTF, the NASMED, the ICC champions. What else do I have to say before this gathering this morning? Okay, so honestly speaking, I consider it to be an interesting one, a rare privilege, which I will not take for granted. Permit me to stand along existing protocols. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a podium person. I always enjoy walking around. Okay, so the topic before us looks big, but sincerely speaking, we will try our best to demystify it. The first word there is innovation. The second one is digital transformation. And they sound alike, but trust me, they are not the same. The first one, which is innovation, has to do with our ability to do something new at every given point in time. How many of us knows about old bottles, old wines in new bottles, or new wine in old bottles? Who knows how to say it very well? Old wine in new bottle, or the new wine in the old bottle? So if you are to choose, which of the two would you prefer? Which one would you prefer? The new wine in the new bottle. New wine, new bottle. Or old wine, new bottle. What did he say? None is bad. Now, let me tell you the interesting thing why I love this analogy. You can see the way we are all looking up and asking ourselves. Honestly speaking, by the time you brainstorm through this, from morning till night, you'll be an innovator. Are we together? And what I'm trying to tell you today is that you do not need to be an extraordinary genius to be an innovator. So, what is the secret of innovation? Simply asking the right questions. My co-speaker would elaborate more on that. We are in business to solve problems. And I'm always excited to stress that. Contrary to the ideas that we had when we were growing up, that, oh, if you are in business, you are in business to make money. Money is sweet, isn't it? But if you thrive on your business, believing that you are there to make money, yes, you'll make money, but sustainability will be an issue. And that is why, for us in this part of the world, we take that cliche very serious that small businesses rarely outlive the first 5 years. It is not that they weren't hardworking. It is not that they were not talking to customers. It is not that they were not investing, even though you and I know that many of these small business holders also convert the capital into home running expenditure. I make little money, I think of what I want to eat. Right in the place where I make the money, I'm already thinking of which clothes to buy for weekend party, etc. That mentality is changing. But there's a culture that is still missing, and that is the culture of innovation. The culture of innovation. How do you entrench the culture of innovation in our small businesses? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is very simple. Learn to ask questions. I'll give you a very good example. 2 days ago, or 2 weeks ago, I bought an equipment. The engineer came to fix it. He couldn't. I tried my best using my technology IQ. We were unsuccessful. So I told him, please, go look for someone else that will come back to fix it. And yesterday, he came back. And when the young man walked into my office, I looked at the young man that, engineer, why did you bring this man into my office? I was like, oh God, do you know this man before? I said, yes, I know him. I have invited him into this office before, 6 years ago, to resolve an issue which he did not do successfully, and he never came back. Not to even give me a call to, Oga, that thing I did for you, hope it is working. Are you enjoying it? And the good thing is, I packed it up and it is somewhere around the corner. So I showed him that, do you remember this gadget? He said, yes, he came with his boss. I said, that's the problem with small business holders in Nigeria. You run a particular service, you get the money, you are so excited, Eureka, I have found it, and you go. The customer's delight is more important than the money, even though making money is sweet. So I was telling the two of them there that one of the killer of small businesses is the fact that we don't look back. We don't ask questions. And for you to be an innovator, you must learn to ask questions. I don't want to go into too technicals, talking about design thinking, doing SWOT analysis, different types of big grammar. The bottom line is asking questions. Who says that you cannot have products version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4, version 5? Why are we all running after Samsung today? Why do we run after Apple? The simple answer is what? They are innovators. They know what you like. Isn't it? And they will always come back to ask you again, after using it, what else do you think you want that is still not inside of this phone? And they will go back looking for it. Let me give you another example. There was a particular time, suddenly I'll see on a sticker, a particular sticker on buses around Akoka and Bariga. That was when, in fact, we've never talked about POS at all. What these guys did was, on campus, we had the problem of this challenge of change. And two Chinese guys came. Of course, we had Confucius Institute. So they will always come under the disguise that they are coming to Confucius Institute. And they were asking questions, and they realized that they had a problem of change. And immediately they came up with a technological tool which every bus driver would use, and you load it. They just deduct 70 naira from you. And when I keep asking my students, do you know the implication of that? They say it made life easy. And when we Googled it, guess where those guys were seated? They were sitting far away, Nanjing in China, solving problems for us here in Akoka. That was when we opened up our brain that it is no longer a thing of just saying entrepreneurship anymore, that we need to now start innovating. When you combine that entrepreneurial spirit in you with your culture of innovation, then you become a superpreneur. Are we together? Now, the digital transformation there is just to let you know that innovating is not easy, but with the power of technology, you can be a super innovator. Are we together? Mr. Lawal asked an interesting question. What do you do with your phone? I usually tell my students that when I started in University of Lagos, there was no computer. But along the line, Otingba was battered. And one or two gentlemen in my class went there on excursion and they wanted to see what is happening in Otingba. Out of curiosity, they started to couple computers. Today they are in business. For me, I was always fixated on my CGPA. But there was one thing we did differently. We saw that there was a need for the demand for a particular solution, which is empirical analysis of research. I saw an opportunity in that and partnered with those gentlemen, and we started using technology for business. That was how I started making money while I was on campus. But little did we know that the speed of evolution was going to be faster than we were thinking. Today, with your phone, you can do a lot. I won't tell you what my wife tells me at home, though. My wife will tell my children, even though I'm married to your dad, the laptop is his first wife. His phone is his second wife. And me, I'm the third wife in the house now. Because what I tell everybody around me, some things I can't do on my laptop, I bring out my phone immediately and I do it. And I'm always asking my students questions. That, you guys, how can I do this thing? You'll be amazed at which these young people will tell you, Prof, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it is done. It was from my students I learned how to use Canvas. It was from my students I knew the enormity or the potentials embedded in Microsoft Word. It was from my students I know the power of Microsoft Excel. And recently, I'm beginning to appreciate the power of Google. Now, I'm starting a new office very soon. And one of the challenges we're given is, oh, you need a website. And we're just looking up website. A student overheard us and said, Abba, Prof, let's do it sharp. And just clicked on my Google, and there was something there, sites, Google Sites. And just in 2 hours, we had a website already. In 2 hours, using Google Sites. SIT. For everyone that has a Gmail, click it, you'll see it there, standing there. So, what this is telling us, ladies and gentlemen, is that at our fingertips, you have a lot of tools that are available. Let us not go into the artificial intelligence. Who does not know ChatGPT? I don't know ChatGPT. Can we raise up our hands? But what do you use it for? Who uses it here? So how do you use it? Because we're talking about you being innovative now. Are we together? What we discover is that many people just put the question there, Pam, do this for me, and they just give it to you, and you harvest it like that. If you do, you aren't going to be an innovator. But there's something, a new skill that has come with it now. For any artificial intelligence tool that you're going to use, we call it the prompting skills. Am I correct? Prompting skills. Okay? And one thing that I love about it is initially I tell my students, no, it's not good though. But one day, a friend just called me. He's in the industry. I was like, Prof, why have you not written 3 GVT? I said, I've heard it. I said, it's not a good thing. It's promoting plagiarism. He said, no, use it to your advantage. And at that point, I started to search, how can we use ChatGPT ethically? And that was when I came across that prompt skill. You continue to prompt it. You build scenarios, you build cases. And the more you do, the better the answers you get, the more new information you get. And you can now sit down and look at all those information, create something new out of it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, blockchain technology. How many of you are aware of that? You don't need to go and learn it. Are we together? You don't need to learn it. Just encourage the young ones amongst us. Are we together? Encourage the young ones amongst us to learn all of these things, and you bring them on board. Who says a 10-year-old boy or 11-year-old boy or a 16-year-old boy can be a member of your board? Every SME needs an innovation officer moving forward. The way and manner with which we seek bookkeeping, financial record keeping with fear, let's also begin to cultivate innovation in our various enterprises with fear. The government is doing a lot, I must admit. Since the company, an interesting reform is going on in the digital space. Innovation space is becoming a very popular buzzword now. Okay? Entrepreneurship ecosystem is becoming a big word. But how many of us are thinking that inside my organization now I need to have an innovation officer? What should be the responsibility of our innovation officer? The innovation officer will be tasked with that responsibility of asking questions, collating data, doing data analysis, and helping you to draw up new insights relating to your consumer behavior as well as the products and services that you offer. Do not make a mistake of assuming that all your consumers think alike. All our consumers do not think alike. And that is why every time when you log on to your internet, you always see pop-ups. The day you start clicking, know that that day you already started giving out data. Are we together? And that's why you see that if you're observant, when you log on, most of the information that pops up are things that entices you, things that you're happy about. That is the power of technology today. We may not have that power to go to that extent, but consciously asking questions from our consumers, taking notes, converting their responses into data, and you subjecting it to rigorous analysis can help you make informed decisions. Digital transformation has come to stay. Are we together? And what does that mean for our businesses? You may not be a tech guru moving forward, but strive to be digitally literate. Everybody here has a WhatsApp on his or her phones. WhatsApp has also given us a new leverage, the business WhatsApp. How do you use it? How can you tap into that world to multiply your businesses? These are basics that we need to know. And to know all of these things is also not difficult. Just ask questions. Ask all those young people around us. Keep asking them. They will teach you for free. Are we together? They will teach you for free. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're just saying here today is that to be an innovator, you must consciously imbibe that culture of innovation, and it starts with asking questions. When you ask the question and you get answers, don't stop there. Pull those responses, they become data for you. Look for somebody to do the analysis and say, how does this affect my business? And that will help you to evolve your product space. My brother will speak more to that. But to get this product to a wider market now, which is where the money is. Are we together? The wider market is where the money is. You need to tap into the world of technology. WhatsApp Business is the least I would recommend. Google Apps are available to us. And you can always now tap into the world of the Microsoft Excel, etc., for documentations, basic analysis, etc. And together, we would build a stronger entrepreneurship ecosystem. We are very lucky, ladies and gentlemen, but yet there is a dilemma. And what is this dilemma? We all have a task to play. What is the dilemma? Don't forget, we are all sitting on the poverty capital of the world. Yes or no? That is a rare opportunity for us. It is a rare opportunity. What it means is that there are loads of problems waiting out there for us to solve, which people will pay for. And for you to tap into that, you need to be an innovator. And remember, the secret of a successful innovation is integrating the culture of innovation into your businesses. Have an innovation officer today. Leverage the technology tools available at your disposal and go ye into the world, solve those problems, and make good money. Making money is sweet. Thank you very much.
We can do better than that. Let's give him a better clap. Thank you so much. I believe we are getting there. That was a fantastic introduction of the topic. Thank you so much. Some of the things I got from what he said. He said you do not need to have to be an extraordinary genius to be an innovator. So that's a call to all of us to become innovators. He also said we should learn to ask questions. I think that's instructive. And if you notice, if you know how AI or ChatGPT questions, prompts, you mentioned prompt, either becoming an innovation officer or have an innovation officer. So thank you so much, sir. That was very instructive. Okay, so as we are moving ahead, we have our next keynote speaker. We have Mr. Mustafa Azamari Otaru, who is the Chief Product Officer of Sterling Bank Limited. And so we'll have his bio shortly, and then it will come up the stage. So Mr. Mustafa Azamari Otaru is a seasoned professional with extensive expertise in digital financial services, marketing strategy, commercial operations, products management, project management, customer experience, spanning over 15 plus years of technical and specialized knowledge has enabled him to deliver successful products across several verticals, leading diverse teams and portfolios. Mustafa obtained his BSc in Geography from Usman Danfodio University and a master's degree in Geographical Information Systems from the University of Lagos. And he is an action learning, he also has action learning MBA from Business School Netherlands. He also holds a certification in project management and digital financial practitioner. Can we give a warm and exciting welcome, a better clap to Mr. Mustafa? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I was asking Ismail that I don't think it's fair that you let anyone speak after a school professor. And again, he didn't disappoint. He gave a very succinct delivery of the topic. I guess what I would do, I know Ismaila was whispering to my ears whether I still have anything to talk about. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I can talk about anything because he said everything. But I'll try my best to mention a few things. I think for us in the private sector and in a more practical sense of what digital or what innovation or digital transformation really means, There's a Japanese word called Kaizen. I don't know how many of us have heard it before. It's basically an interpretation of continuous improvement or process improvement. What that means is that, like Professor said, innovation is not something big. It's not in the air, neither is it in a cloud that you can't catch. It is the things you do every day to improve on the things that happened yesterday. In the context of business, okay, I made 15% growth in my business last year. The objective this year is to make it 25%. Do you think doing the same thing you did that year to give you 12% will deliver 25% this year? If you do not improve on that process, of course, there's likelihood that, yes, you might be lucky and improve, but you might not necessarily go far. So what am I really saying is that the innovations comes out of the little things that we do. And we must continue to improve on our business processes and all. I want to quote the director of NIDA, in July, when he said that if the MSME ecosystems are fully digitized, that the sector can contribute about $53 billion into Nigerian economy. And I think that was really instructive, and I think it blew my head up. The daily things you do, your business operations, you must think of a way to improve on them by adopting simple technology tools. The professor mentioned things like Excel. Those little skills are very, very important. And what is really digital? When we say digital, you talk about computer, you talk about so many other gadgets that we have in our hands, or the softwares that power those hardwares. We need to have a deeper knowledge of how to apply those tools to the business that we do. For instance, in Sterling, we have a platform called the TBH platform, which is the business hub, which is coincidentally is one of the sponsors of this program. What have we done? It's another digital ecosystem that manages the community of MSME, and I will urge you, if you're not a member, you should try and go to the Business Hub platform to become a member. What does it do? What we've basically done is bringing community of SMEs or MSMEs together in one place in a digital format. You need registration of, to register your business, or do you need to get TIN? Do you need to get trademarking of your product? Whatever you need to make your business formalized and structured. And this is available digitally. I know way back, some of those things could not have been possible. Yeah? If we're not adopting technology or adopting digital tools that are very instrumental to bring people together, or that are very instrumental in understanding the businesses we run. There's also something we call operational efficiency. Your day-to-day. I'm sure a lot of you, of course, you're already in business. Logistics is a major hassle. I don't know if all of us can we all relate to that? The logistics of delivering your product to your customer is a major hassle today. Sometimes those go-kart riders are not even there in good time. But there are tools today that enables you request for a reliable delivery company, allows you to track, allows you to determine when the products are delivered and how happy the customer is at the point of delivery. What that gives you is that you are in control of your business. If I'm also to share statistics, there is a research-based statistic that says that if an MSME adopts the digital channel as a form of within their operation, that the operational cost that you burn
will be reduced by about 26%. So imagine that there are places you might want to be, but you can't be there. But because of digital, or because of, for instance, a platform like Zoom or Teams or anything, you are adopting those tools to engage with people across the world. Another aspect of digital that is very beneficial that we've also seen in recent times is that access to markets. I was speaking to one of my fashion designer, or my tailor, as we likely say. He sits somewhere in, for those of you that know Kaduna very well, I'm in Lagos. I've never sewn any clothes in Lagos. The guy is in Kaduna. If all of you know a place called Hassan Keita Road in Kaduna, you know that there are a lot of tailors there. But I'm not even the only person. It's been there. There are some of them I inherited that business from their forefathers. They are tailors. But the newer generation of the tailors or the designers that are there are making clothes and garments and sending it to further boundaries, US, America, US, London, anywhere all over the world. And how has that been possible? As little as you have a product, you take a picture, you upload on Instagram, put the product description, what you're doing. What you're actually doing is a miniature format of what we normally refer to as e-commerce. That is what Jumia is actually doing. The only thing that Jumia has done differently is that they've aggregated more merchants or more sellers in one place. So it is important that you adopt a digital channel, if not for anything, to expand your access to market. Because you're able to sell to anybody. And very, very importantly, your product must be good. Because one of the downside of selling online or e-commerce today, I know where they say, what I ordered is not what I got. Yeah? Because there's a trust element to that. So it's very important. As an SME or as a business owner, if you're selling a product to a customer and the product specification is well laid out, ensure that what is delivered to the customer is what you've described as a product. Because again, if I get a product from you that is not what I had wanted, or is not the picture that was uploaded, I'm not sure I'll come back to you again. So those are some of the downside of doing that. So access to market. The other thing that I must emphasize is around collaboration, value chain. With digital, you can easily know people that can be your supplier. Imagine somebody that produces feed and you sell egg, for instance, and someone that owns a logistic company. Don't you think that these three businesses can collaborate together to function and deliver that same product, and everybody gets a win-win situation? And if you do not participate, for instance, I am in the platform of I think one of Ismail's platform of the MSMEs. I see a lot of posts that goes in there. And I know that some of those things are very valuable. The essence of what I'm really saying is that get involved in the digital journey, because again, it's not going to stop. The speed at which some of these things are coming at us is so rapid that we are never going to be able to catch up. But we must be in the know of that. And why is that? Because you need to deliver productivity, you need to grow, and you need to grow in an efficient format. Marketing is also very good. I talked about e-commerce, but marketing is slightly different. People need to know that your business exists. And for you to be able to reach a wider audience today is adoption of a lot of these digital platforms. People talk about this, what we call viral marketing. A lot of people do it either on Instagram or on Twitter, X, or on Facebook and all. So imagine you live in Ikeja, Before now, you'll only be able to talk to everybody in Ikeja. Again, you are able to create your content and broadcast your content. A lot of people now know your product. In marketing concept, there's what they call TOMA, top level. Yeah? Top of mind awareness. You need to create that awareness of your product. And digital helps you push that forward. One other thing I must share is access to finance and the issues around financial in Nigeria to say we have a robust payment system in Nigeria. I'm not sure, does anybody in the room, we all have BVN in the room? I'm sure we all have BVN in the room. The only way you can do financial services today or render financial services in the country today is that you must have a BVN. And I'm not sure anybody here in this room that haven't used either at minimum a USSD platform for banking or a banking app. Do we have anybody in the room that doesn't know what a banking app is? All those tools are very critical, and it has gone even further. Simple as account statement. Meanwhile, it is very important. Don't be doing business. And Mustafa is different from Mustafa Ventures Limited or Mustafa PLC. That is very important, especially if you're an SME, because there's this cliche of MSMEs don't do, anyone that does more than five years, is already on the way to become a success. That people struggle before 5 years and they fall off. And one of the major reasons, especially from research we've seen, is that the first few years of making money, some people get so excited and start dipping hands in the cross of the business, the real capital of the business. There are tools today, digital tools today, or platform today that helps you manage those kind of accounting entries. You don't need to know to be an accountant to do that. What I'm really saying is, please adopt those tools beyond Excel's. There are tools online, even on the TBH platform. I know we have a tool called Simple Books. It helps you, do basic accounting, basic credit and debits, at least run your operation more effectively. I think these are some of the points. I will stop here to just say, look, the benefits, we can go on and on and on. And again, it has a direct benefit on our immediate impact, as well as the overall communities that we serve and the growth of our business. So operation is very important. Access to market is very important. Financial inclusion is very important. And these are all the things that digital transformation brings on board. So thank you so very much. I think I need to stop here.
Thank you so much. Let's do it bigger than that. Thank you so much for the words of wisdom. It's been an insightful, I was just there writing, just jotting as I was saying, dropping the point. I believe you were doing the same. Some of the things he mentioned process improvements. And he said something that is not something big. It's just you improving from what you did yesterday, becoming better today, continuous improvement. He also mentioned that there's operational efficiency. It's important that in your business, you try as much as you can to be efficient. Keep your records and do all those things. And he touched a bit on access to market. With the story, I think I like that story. It kind of opened me up to the way businesses are done now. He said he hasn't sold Lagos, and he has been in Lagos. That kind of I have a lot of questions to ask him. So how does he get employment? Do you go there? You know, these are questions we need to ask. My prof said we should ask questions, right? So I think him that question before you go, sir. So
Okay, so this is it, and it's simple. So he's been sewing for people in America that he has never met. And the funny thing today is that tailors, once they see you, they know your size. A good tailor, all you just need to do is to give them a full body view, and that is all. And that is also the power of digital. That would not have been possible maybe like how many years ago? 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So he has never even mentioned me. In fact, I've only met him twice. Real person that sews for me. I've only met him twice. And guess what? Anytime he ever sews anything for me, people are asking who sewed it for. I say, that guy is in Kaduna. I don't know his shop. I've never been to his shop.
can we clap for him, please? Clap for him. So before I allow him, does anybody have any question for him? I would have done this for Prof, but he's not here. But before that, also, if this is your car, EKY 258FS is sorted. Thank you. So, does anybody have questions? Let's take one question for him before we move on. Any question? Okay, so, okay, you have a question. Can you come closer? So let's just take one question for him.
Thank you. Good day, everybody. You talk about the bookkeeping, and you mentioned simple book. I think not until we go to that platform you mentioned, the business hub, but I want to request for more help that can assist us in financial record keeping.
Thank you. Let me try and the business hub is the businesshub.ng. That's the link to get that. But again, in terms of accounting entries, Simple Book is one, which is again is locally designed. It was what do you call it? Founded by a local founder, and again, why I always recommend it, again, not only because we have it on the platform, is that the person understands the local need of Nigerians or local businesses. But there are other tools online. You can go to store and just talk about simple account templates. You'll get them easily on iOS or Android. Is that okay? Is that fine? Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Very soon we will be having a panel session, but before that, a few things for us to note. If you are here and you've not registered, registration stand, we need to know everybody that is here. So we appreciate if you go back and register. Also, I said this earlier, we have a restroom. In case you want to use the restroom, you go out the door and come this way. It's also good to know that this program is being streamed. It's being streamed on YouTube. So if you need the link, you can ask the registration stand for that. And at this point, I would like you to know that there will be lunch. So be excited a bit. Even though we're going to be learning a lot, there's going to be lunch. So please do not be in a hurry to leave. Lunch will be served. So at this point, before we go to the panel session, I would like us to stand up and meet new people. Let's have like a 5 minutes networking. Let's meet new people. After that, I will come up and welcome the panelists. Let's meet new people. One of the beauty for this kind of program is that you get the opportunity to meet people you've not met before. So I encourage you to walk around and meet somebody new, know what businesses they do. Also, it's important to note we have exhibition stands at the back. So you can also go to the back and check the exhibition stands. Let's do that in 5 minutes. You can go to the exhibition stand, then we come back for the panel session. Let's check the exhibition stands, meet new people. Let's patronize those that are exhibiting as well. We can do that for 5 minutes. Please, let's also check the exhibition stands. You can check them, see what they have in display. We have 3 minutes to do that. Let's meet new people. Amazingly, nobody has come to meet me. I'm also here to be met. So we have 2 minutes. So we have 2 minutes to get back to our seats. Please let's look around, check the exhibition stand, patronize them. So we can get back to our seats now. Let's get back to our seats. Okay, 2 minutes. We have 2 minutes to do this more. You want to bring me to spotlight? No, let's look at the exhibitors and get back to our seats. So can we get back to our seats? Let's get back to our seats as we go on with the program. Let's also be reminded that there will be lunch. Lunch is coming. Let's get back to our seats. Can we get back to our seats? We can always continue our networking much later. So very soon I'll be welcoming the panelists up stage, and we will be discussing adopting the culture of innovation and digital transformation in business operations. That's looking at the reality of the Nigerian ecosystem, Nigerian MSME. So can we come back? Let's take our seats. Networking session is over. Can we be seated? We will have sufficient time for networking. Let's remember to collect their contacts. You can always follow up on your discussion. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Very soon, I will be introducing again the panelists. They've been introduced earlier. Some were not seated at the time. But now we have all the panelists, so I will be introducing everybody again. But before that, I would like to crave your indulgence for everyone to be seated. Awesome. So the panel discussion is focused on adopting the culture of innovation and digital transformation in business operations, looking at the reality of the Nigerian MSME. And to have this discussion, we have 6 panel members. The first person on the list is Mr. Per Nwoke from Sproutly Tech Limited. Can we give him a power clap? A better one. We also have Gloria Michael from CX Focus and 21 Detour. Can we give her a power clap? Is she here? Yeah, give her a better power clap. Also, we have Ayodeji Agbola from Fly My Heart. Can we give him a power clap? A better one. We also have Bukola Amao Taiwo from Unilag. Can we give her a power clap? Make it a better one. We have Daniel Kemka, who is a brand visibility expert and an ICSS TFC. Can we give him a power clap? Make it a better one. Finally, we have one of our own, who is an ICSS certified MSME, Ozioma Nwodi of Eden All Foods. Can we give her a power clap? A better one. So I will be bringing them upstage shortly, and they will join me upstage. So can we give ourselves a round of applause? Okay, so in no particular order, I will welcome Mr. Penwoke. Can you please give him a round of applause as he comes up stage? Let's make it better than that. We also have Gloria Michael. Please clap for her as she comes up stage. Ayodeji Agbola, please clap as well as he comes up stage. We also have Bukola Mautaiwo. Please clap for her as she comes up stage. And we will also bring up stage Mr. Daniel Kemker. Please clap for him as well. And our very own Ozioma Onwodi of Eden O Foods. Please clap for her. Let's encourage them as they come up stage. You're welcome. I would also like to say that this is going to be a very interactive session. So you will not be left out. If you have any question, you can just note it and send it up stage. And you can direct your question to any of them. Okay, so welcome. Can we have a second mic? Can someone help with the second mic? Okay. My name is Leke Ademo. I'm also an ICXS TFC, and I will be anchoring this session. Can you give me a power clap? A power clap? A better one. Thank you so much. All right, so the topic we are discussing is adopting the culture of innovation and digital transformation in business operation, the Nigerian MSME. So dealt with this transformation, but we want to discuss. I know you have questions as well, but I already have a few questions here which I've jotted down. But like I said earlier, if you also have questions, please jot your questions down and we will take them in due course. Okay, so this will be a welcoming question, and in just about 15 seconds, I want everyone to introduce themselves with this question. And so the question is, how would you define innovation within the context of MSMEs in Nigeria? Somebody has a mic, so you can go first. How would you define innovation? We're talking about MSMEs in Nigeria.
Okay, it's working now. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ozioma Whole Foods. And to address his question, how will you define innovation in the Nigerian MSME? I would say innovation is doing the same old thing that we know differently to appeal to your market.
Thank you. Can we please give them a power clap? A better one. Over to you, ma'am.
So, in the context of an SME, I would define innovation as, by telling a story of how my grandmother had a store in Jos and had only 2 people selling what she sells. And then I took some of her products, and at the time she grew, I took some of her products, came here to Lagos, sought for the same product, put it on an e-commerce site, and then got people to buy from all over Nigeria and beyond Nigeria. For me, that's my own way and my simple definition of innovation. Something is changing. Something is being done differently to get more people to come into the loop. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A power clap, please. Let's encourage them as they're speaking.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Ayodeji Agbola, and I run a company called Fly My Ads. I would define innovation when it comes to SMEs as what you do to improve, your processes, your sales, and just like Dr. Shitu shared with us earlier, he says, ask questions. I'll take it further to say, the question you should ask yourself every single time is, what if? What if I could do X, Y, Z? What if I could sell more? What if I could deliver this thing faster? What if I could make this thing faster? If you ask that question yourself, every single process in your business, you definitely will happen upon innovation, because you would find answers that would actually answer those questions. And the second thing is being curious. Just remain curious. By being curious, you would, always find answers that actually differentiate your business and moves you forward.
Thank you so much. Please clap for them.
Good morning, everyone. My name is
morning.
Gloria Michael, the founder of CS Focus and 21 Detour. And for me to define innovation, I would say that is a new method or a new product or a new way of doing things in your business. So the problem with us in Nigeria and vastly other countries is that when we hear the word, we think of, oh, it's a big word. We're just saying innovation. Oh, I need to use AI. I need to use cloud computing. I need to use machine learning and all that in my business. No, it's starting small. I think the two speakers already talked about it. It's starting from where you are, how you can do new things, improving your processes, improving the method you do your things, operations majorly, then your product, tweaking it to suit your customers' taste, all right, and being consumer-centric in your approach to product and everything. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Clap for her.
Hi, my name is Pierre Nwoke, and I am the co-founder and CEO of Sproutly. The people who came before me, I think, have said it all. When it comes to innovation, for me I like to believe that there is nothing that has not been made already. But innovation in its own sense is you improving an existing product or services. Take, for instance, we have soaps, right? Bathing soap, we have variety of this soap. And then you have soap for special skincare, you have soap, medicated soap to cure either skin ailments. But you can come out and say, I want to create a soap that is specifically going to be made for albino people, which means I am making sure to look at their body constituents, like what makes up their skin, and I'm creating this. This is like a better upgrade of the regular medicated soap or beauty soap or every other skincare routine soap. So if you are an innovator, you're looking to improve any process, either existing, and if you're lucky enough to bring up something new, then you become, what do they call it? A creator. So innovation basically works hand in hand with creation. So you have to be a creator, you have to have the creator mindset. And like she said, you have to always be open to doing new things, try new things, and keep yourself very curious. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we clap for him?
All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Coach Daniel Kamkar. I'm a brand visibility specialist and also a teacher. So first of all, there's a difference between creativity and innovation. Now, creativity has to do with you being able to conceive a concept or an idea in your mind, while innovation is being able to put it down. Now, in passing innovation, the first question you want to ask yourself is how? How can I do this better? How can I improve on this product? How can I do this? And so that would make you to start thinking. So for MSME, one of the factors you must think about is how can I improve my product? Or in terms of marketing, how can I make it get to reach out to more people to get to know my product, especially I'm on my area of specialization. So one of the things you must think about is how can people get to know my product more? Because no matter the kind of product you do, if people don't know your product, there's no way you can sell. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we give them a round of applause? Can we make it bigger? Also, before I go ahead with my questions, let me give you their background. Mr. Per is the CEO of Sproutly, a US Wyoming fintech or edtech company with deep operations in Africa and its headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria. So Sproutly serves schools and families by offering a collection of financial management and credit services. Per is a graduate of psychology and holds a master's degree in business from the prestigious Harvard Business School. He is an experienced banker and entrepreneur. Can we clap for him again? We also have Gloria Michael, who has over 5 years experience in the fintech industry, working with startups and mid-sized organizations to manage retention, develop customer success strategies, and customer satisfaction. Gloria has spoken to over 1,000 people on various topics, how to leverage on technology to goal setting. She is an certified customer success manager, a member of customer success network, among others. She graduated from ABU Zaria University. She is the founder of CX Focus and 21 Detour. Gloria is passionate, even talent. Can we clap for her again? We also have Ayodeji Ademola Agbola, who is a technology entrepreneur, providing digital services and solutions for everyday business challenges. A graduate of microbiology from Olabisi Onabanjo University, Ayodeji found his love elsewhere in technology and its applications. He founded a digital agency, Fly My Heart, in 2011, where they continue to provide web development and digital marketing services to a myriad of businesses from micro to multinationals. He is a certified digital marketing professional with Facebook, Google, and Digital Marketing Institute, Ireland. As a technology entrepreneur, Ayodeji founded Akowe in 2020. Akowe is a digital wallet for verified and academic records using blockchain technology. Akowe helps graduates house all their academic records on a safe and secure platform and goes the extra step authenticity of those academic records. Akowe and other stakeholders as an easier academic records. Mr. Daniel Miracle came writer and an author, and also a blogger. He speaks in churches, NGOs, conferences, and institutions, and also does training sessions. For almost 2 decades, Daniel has been one of the leading propagators of the gospel of entrepreneurship, talent development, strategic thinking as the vital keys for personal organization and economic success. Coach Daniel, as is fondly called, has trained hundreds of students, corporate individuals, business people, both virtually and physically, several projects and training programs. He is a committed learner and constantly seeks to evolve in the learning process, which he also encourages his students to do. He is a founder of Signature Online Training Program, Self Stupendiously Coaching Class, SSCC, that has trained over 1,000 participants. To his credit, Daniel Kemker has coached and trained over 800 people, physically and virtually. And he's also a certified ICSS TFC. Kola Amautaiwo, who is an academic developer, researcher, and entrepreneurship educator, certified by the Staff Educational Development Association, UK. She presently works at the University of Lagos Entrepreneurship and Skills Development Center. Her primary passion is designing and delivering tailor-made skills development interventions for youth using data-driven principles and equity-centered, inclusive, and participatory design thinking methodologies. So our research interests span experimental entrepreneurship education, teaching quality, pedagogy, student experience, and active learning strategies. She is also interested in the barriers and enablers of student entrepreneurship in universities, conducting research using entrepreneurship centers and innovation as case studies. Let's give her a warm welcome again. And lastly, but not the least, we have Ozioma Onwadi, who is the CEO of Eden All Foods, which is an African superfood company that processes and distributes African heritage foods, essentially palm oil, groundnut oil, soup seasoning, honey, sweet potato. Eden All Foods, okay, across the world. This not only ensures food security, but also financial security for the smallholder farmers in Africa. The key lesson for her is the formulation of a growth plan, which she learned from the training, the ICSS training, and which our company has since built upon for the expansion ambition. And so today we have her here. Can we give her a welcome, a warm welcome as well? Okay, so we can go straight to the questions. Like I said earlier, if you have questions, you could also jot them down. So I have a question. I will start with Ozioma. So can we pass? She is a product of the ICSS, so I think that's a good way to start. And I want her to share a success story of how she has effectively integrated digital tools or innovation into our business model. Let's welcome Ozioma.
All right, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here today. And I like this panel. It's balanced out. 3 women, 3 men.
Thank you.
Yes, so my business and I are a product of the ICSS, which means inspire, start, create, start, and scale. I featured in the Scale program sometime in June that was implemented by She Cluded, and it was an awesome experience, and I have a few of my sisters in this room. Before I talk about how digitization has scaled my business, I want to take us a little bit back to where we're coming from the First Republic to the Second Industrial Revolution, to the Third Industrial Revolution, and to the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and even to the Fifth Industrial Revolution. The beginning of the Industrial Revolution was in the 18th century, and it was basically in Britain, and we're just about building machines, right? By the time we're dovetailing into the 19th century, we went into building steam machines and then the rails. By the time it was the third industrial revolution at the 20th century, we're big on communication. Personal computers, internet was also featuring. By the fourth industrial revolution, which is our season, which is our time now, we're talking about digitizing, democratizing technology, access to technology. 23 years ago, MTN SIM or Airtel SIM was about 10,000, 15,000 naira. Today is about 100 naira to the digital economy. And so many speakers have spoken about more creators online and everywhere else, creating different things in different industries, from entertainment, trainings. So I'll bring it home to talk between being a millennial, and I used to call myself an Alpha Gen Z mom because I have children who are in the Alpha generation, the most recent generation following the Gen Z, and I'm a millennial. I've had to quickly grasp what's going on in my environment and apply it to my own growth and to the growth of my business. And it means that everybody in this room, is there somebody that doesn't have a phone in this room? Is there anybody who doesn't have a phone? I believe we all have a phone of some sort in this room. It means that we all can communicate with our family members, our loved ones, our friends, our staff. Beyond communication, how are we applying the use of technology in our day-to-day life? Things have become easier. When you board the buses these days, you are expected to have an e-card and not necessarily have cash. And in the period of the cash crunch, where we had to buy Naira with Naira, I mean, people still survived because everybody had to learn how to do USSD, even if they didn't have a GPS, like the big phone that could do mobile banking. So that's just telling us every day how technology is affecting our daily lives. So how do we leverage on it as Nigerians and Nigerians in Lagos and in the rest of the parts of Nigeria? Every day, people share broadcast messages. I get so many from my mom, and it just shows how much information is traveling. So for my business, we've used such tools, social tools as WhatsApp, we've used Facebook, we've used Instagram. Because like one of the speakers had said earlier, if you're creating fantastic products and people don't know about it, then it's going nowhere. So it's either you go high or you go home. So it is very important that we're beginning to learn to connect with people beyond our very close vicinity. That even if we desire to have a walk-in store or a physical presence, we want to be out there virtually, connecting with the rest of the world, because the world has become global, like a small village. When you scream in Nigeria, people in America can hear you, and the one sure way to reach them is through social platforms. There are also so many opportunities going around in the social media space, because the givers understand that their ideal clients or participants are on those platforms. So if you're not on these social platforms, what are you doing? You are missing. And if you do not know how to ask questions, I mean, I can't reiterate that enough, that asking questions is very important for our personal development and for our business development. And I'm a testimony. I mean, I'm scheduled to speak at one other event, and it's just talking about the same digitizing our processes, digitizing our businesses, and even for self-development. Opportunities are out there, your customers are out there, they don't know you because your street is too small or too far for them to have access to. So the more you're present online, the more you are collaborating with people, then people can know the amazing things that you're doing, and then you can reach out to more people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Can we clap for her? I want the same question to be answered by Mr. Ayodeji, Fly Marts. Yes, so I'll repeat the question again. The question is, could you share a success story of how effectively you've used digital tools or innovation in your business model?
Okay. So in the year 2018, we had a project that was sponsored by Facebook. That project was called the Boost Your Business Training Program, and it was designed to teach small business owners how to use Facebook products for business. In that program, there's a possibility that some of us who are here have participated in that training program one way or the other. We had about 35 trainers across 12 cities in Nigeria. And since 2018 till date, we've trained about 70,000 business owners. Now, yes, please clap. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you can clap.
Thank you. How do you execute something of that nature without using digital tools? Because obviously, small business owners need to realize that to market your business effectively, you need social media platforms. And if you don't know how to use the social media platforms, then there's going to be a lot of lack. And that's why, Facebook came into that program to say, hey, we know that you can benefit from our platforms. Let's put certified trainers in front of you who would teach you how to do that. And we did that, and we've been doing that since 2018 till now. The trainings started off as physical trainings. We would churches, trade organizations like MSME, Medan, and train small business owners. 2020 and COVID turned that entire training to be virtual, which meant that small business owners had to learn how to use Zoom. We had to show them how to use Zoom. And we continued. 2020 basically helped a lot of businesses because you needed to learn new things in order to be able to survive. So we continue to execute those trainings digitally. In fact, attendance was a lot easier to do because before wherever you are, plugged in on your earphones or whatever, and still get the benefit of that training. So it's not a question of whether you should use technology. If you don't, you're going to get left behind. And I think in summary, there are 3 or 4 main areas that I think SMEs need to really focus on when it comes to technology and innovation. If we look at what today's topic is talking about, the reality of the Nigerian SMEs. One of the things that I think we must look at effectively is how do you increase your productivity using digital tools? How do you improve your bookkeeping? How do you make sure that you can have a clear overview of appointments that you have for the entire week? Do you use Google Calendar to schedule your meetings? Or can anybody just call you at any time of the day and take 30 minutes of your time on a phone call that you didn't plan? Putting some very simple processes in your business helps you to improve your productivity. So tools like Google Calendar, Calendly, these are all free tools that you can use to improve your productivity. I also think that technology would be used in your operations, everyday operations. How are we making sure that we know how much we're selling on a day-to-day basis? How are we making sure that we know the stock level that we have as our inventory? And how do we make sure that as we continue to ask ourselves the question I asked earlier, what if? If you're a baker, for instance, how do you make sure that you can try out and create new recipes? If you don't have that ability to remain curious and ask yourself, what if I use a different ingredient here than what I used to use? maybe I can come up with a new, more interesting recipe that could even drive my sales up. You know, so the final part is marketing. Today, it's almost impossible to do any marketing without using digital platforms. You know, so and if you can use all the features on WhatsApp Business effectively, you will definitely start to see the difference. And finally, one of the modules that SS loved was the creativity module that we usually had and the WhatsApp Business. At the back there, if people don't know that you are selling these things, you definitely will not be getting those sales. So technology is a tool that allows you to be visible by using your phone, recording videos, putting it out there, and that visibility leads to conversations, and those conversations lead to transactions.
Thank you so much. Can we clap for him? So far, based on that question, from what I've taken so far, the use of tools. We have to familiarize ourselves with these tools to help us, grow our businesses and become more efficient. I have a question for Gloria. Yeah, Gloria. Let's talk about your business. Quickly, in 20 seconds, tell us about your business.
Okay,
CS Focus and 21 Detour.
Okay, so starting with CS Focus. CS Focus is just a platform where aspiring individuals and also people that simply means customer experience. So we come together and create a platform where we can learn, because there's disruption in the society now. There's digital transformation. So we teach people how to use tools and how to be able to scale their careers. So you're just an entry-level person. How do you scale in the next 5 years to being a VP of customer success, right? So that we help you with the necessary tools and knowledge that you require, because more like mentorship and all. Then with 21 Data, what we try to do is we are invested in the SDG 5, that gender equality. So we help career women and people that have businesses to create a balance in their businesses and their careers.
Thank you. Thank you. So now, challenges that MSMEs face when attempting to embrace digital transformation and innovations in their operations. What are the challenges?
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that question, because the first thing, before I even go to that answer, the thing is for SMEs or MSMEs, is either you adopt to what we have now, that is digital transformation or innovation, or you are going to go extinct. There's no two ways about it. It's either you adopt right now, because you may be saying that your customer don't use, you are going to go extinct. That's the first thing. And the first speaker or the second speaker talked about what are the tools you can use for maybe bookkeeping, invoicing, and some accounting tools. So you can use Wave. You can just check that out now, maybe on your Google, on your apps right now. We have Wave, we have OZ app. So there are free tools where you can just, if you record them properly, you get your results and your data correctly. So I mentioned Wave, I mentioned OZ app, I mentioned, Zoho Books. There's Sunrise as well. So those ones are free. You can use them on your day-to-day transactions with your customers, all right? So going back to your question, so what are the challenges of implementing these things we are talking about? The first thing is our mindset. So the first challenge is not even there's no money, there's no capital, there's nothing, right? The major challenge we're having with people adopting, people are telling you that this is the way my father used to do it, so I'm not doing it the way you're saying. So you tell somebody that, oh, can I send the money to your account or this? No, they say, I want it in cash. So that's a big problem for you as an entrepreneur, right? And as an entrepreneur right now. You can't survive if you don't adapt. right? So that's the first challenge of the mind. And there's another thing again. People are saying that it's not. There's a skill gap. So people, I don't know how to use laptop. I don't know how to use smartphones. So how do I adopt to the next level? Because whatever you're doing, digital transformation talks about using the internet, right? So if you don't know, if you don't have this, there's a skill gap already. So for you to scale and be able to enjoy what we are talking about, digital transformation, you need to know how to use these tools. You need to upskill, you need to be open to learning. So those are the first things you need to do, apart from you learning or getting the money you need to change your mindset first. You need to also upskill to expose your mind. All right. And if you want to start at it, and one of the ways, the major reason why digital transformation fails in organization is because it's not holistic. So maybe they'll just implement digital transformation in one aspect of their business, leaving the leadership, leaving maybe the products the same. If you change your products and you're not changing the way you satisfy your customer, you're still going to have problems. If you're still having issues with your HR and all that, you're not going to be able to scale properly. So for you to scale or enjoy digital transformation, you need to understand that it's going to be holistic. And when we are talking about digital transformation, we're not just telling you to changing, you're using maybe paper to record your things today, changing to Excel. That's not it. That's not all there is, right? So if you want to do that, you need to so he mentioned Google, calendar and all that. So you need to tools in it. You have inventory tools as well. So it's holistic, and also there's a top to bottom approach when it comes to digital transformation. It doesn't just while I was still working with a former organization, with the employee, the mid-level and the junior, we're using a tool and it was going on well. But when we saw that the executives and the CEOs were not using it, everybody it fizzled out. So that failed before it even started. So if you want to implement this transformation, you need to understand that it's not just, make them do. It's not that type. You have to start, you have to lead by example. It has to be transformational. It's not transactional, right? So transformational is just saying that, what should we do? Let it start from me. You are starting the journey from yourself, right? So answer your question again. I mentioned two things. Your mindset, you need to change right now. Then they know they use social media for my house. No, they don't. I don't on my phone before 10 a.m. It doesn't work when it comes to digital transformation because communication is seamless, it's boundless right now. So I should be able to talk to my employees, let's say, anytime. Maybe our working time is 9 to 7. So I should be able to be in contact with you. And with 21 Detail, what we have done is we currently don't have employees like, this is our HR person, this is our accounting person. That's not what we have. We have a decentralized system whereby what do we need at the moment? We have people that pay as you go, kind of. So do we need an accounting person? We have a platform for that where you just communicate with that person and they get the work done. We have freelancing. As an SME, you don't have to employ everybody that you need. You don't have to employ, you're having a cook, you're having accounting person, you're having HR, with which money? So you have to leverage on freelancing. So you have people that can offer you these services for a token. Go to Upwork, Fiverr, and all. Upwork is even very close to us, so you can just employ anybody, graphic designer. You don't need to have them in-house. You can just go there, employ them or even social media. People are employing people from Instagram, Twitter, X now. So you, instead of leverage on these things that are available, so you don't look at, I need to get the latest robots or chatbots and all that. You just need to start from where you are right now, leveraging on what is available to you, especially the free tools, all right? And also, the first speaker talked about data analytics, right? And you may not be able to get a data scientist. So I'm talking about the challenges because I don't understand this, and so I'm not doing it. No, that people have made this have simplified these things for you. Like Facebook has already Facebook and Instagram, they have analytics. product from? Where are people viewing your pictures or your reels from? By so doing, you already know, oh, 5% is from Lagos, 10% is from maybe Anambra State and all. So by so doing, you already have your data and the demography as well. You already know their age and their gender. So leverage on those things for success in your business. Thank you.
All right, can we clap for her? It's also important for me to remind you that we are streaming live on YouTube, the Business Orb. So if you have anybody who is here and needs to follow up with the discussion, you can send them the link. And also, if you have questions, you can send them to the stage. We will address your questions. So if you've written any questions, you can send them to the stage. And if you haven't, you can do that now, and we will take your questions. I have a question for Mr. Per. Can you pronounce your name?
Yeah, you're correct.
Oh, awesome. Can you please clap for me, please? I tried. All right. So she mentioned something on mind, and coincidentally, I have a question on mindset. And I want you to answer it because from your profile, I see that you've schooled here in Nigeria and abroad. So the question I have is, what are the key culture or mindset shifts required for MSME owners and employees to embrace innovation and digital transformation? Let me say it again. What are the key cultural or mindset shifts required for MSME owners and employees to embrace innovation and digital transformation?
All right, thank you so much for that question. There is this saying that goes, time is money. Now, the big difference between African countries, or we as Africans, and industrialized nations is that we don't understand the concept of time, right? And then for most business owners, we tend to sacrifice time a lot in place of money. Another thing is efficiency. When you live abroad, you understand that every single moment of your life counts, and every single hour is money to you. And then when you now talk about things like efficiency, I think she mentioned something. She said, you don't have to hire so many people to do so many things. If you're trying to adopt digital transformation, if you're trying to adopt innovation in your workplaces, there are some things that can actually be done using machines, using tools. She talked about data. Data is king. Let me give you an insight. Now, my company is a US company, right? And there's a reason why it's a US company. The entire investor space when it comes to Africa and Nigeria, actually Nigeria is really declining because of some socioeconomic brouhaha. I'm not going to mention. Having a company in the US and wanting to localize operations in Africa meant that we needed to have footprints in Africa. You had to have your ground armies here. The idea was, oh, we're going to have people in South Africa, we're going to have people in Nigeria, in Kenya, in Ghana, the markets we're trying to target for our next 4 to 5 fiscal years. But realize that running your entire company efficiently using the right tools would require you to use less people. Now, you might see subscription costs. Like when we started, for customer support, we used Intercom. And Intercom will bill our company close to $2,500 a year on that tool alone. But how efficient is it? Are your customers going to be happy? The AI bots that helps, like because people could come up, say 2 a.m. in the morning and they need help, they're trying to make transactions. Do you want to hire people who will do that and you're not sure they're doing the work and they're sleeping on the job? Or you can actually use a tool that gives you, pack it with a lot of answers, and these can give your customers responses, save them time, save yourself time, and also give you one of the best results. So when my company started, we wanted to, like I said, hire people literally everywhere. And I think when you mentioned Zoho Books, I'm an advocate. He's a friend. So we use all of their 45 business suits. It came down to people. We knew that, okay, for data, we could use data prep on their services to actually sync the entire data we're collecting from our processes, from our systems, and that would work. That saved us a huge amount of money, not only in Nigeria, in South Africa, in Kenya, that would have spent hiring armies of, say, data scientists, data analysts to do that work, right? Then in the other sense, time and efficiency. We noticed that the Nigerian team, we didn't have an office in Nigeria, and basically using tools, basically when they did the audit, I think in September, we realized that it saved us 300 million naira just from operations by not having a physical office yet in Nigeria. But by using these tools, when we presented it to the board, we were like, oh, these tools are so expensive, this and that. But when they did the comparison, this was what was happening. And then in terms of the staff efficiency, we noticed that if you leave your engineers, because we work with lots of software engineers, people who build things, they would, you think they're actually working, but they're not doing anything. And for you to offer remote services, offer remote jobs, means that you're not there physically with them. You don't know if they're actually doing the work you want them to do or at the right time. But we use a service called Zoho People, and they are mandated to say, even if you're working in India, we have people who work in different parts of the world as engineers. Even if you're working from wherever you're working, we can actually log in your time, log in your screen. You come in every morning and you check in the regular way you check in, as if you're coming to work, and then you're doing your biometrics. And then at the close of business, you check out. So to answer your first question, time and efficiency is the huge difference. We play with time so much. You see people who leave for work in the morning and then they are caught up in traffic, getting to work, they are disgruntled, they are feeling lazy, they are feeling sleepy and tired. They're not giving you the best service. And in the evening, they go back home, they're stuck in traffic. All of these things keep happening. And all of their jobs are not measured in time. But when you are abroad, you realize that if I'm spending 8 hours doing this service, I have to give my best because I'm going to be paid fairly for 8 hours of work. If I am going to be doing anything, we need to use tools that are efficient. You walk into some companies, even government parastatals, and you find that they're still using archaic tools. You have to stamp this, stamp that, go here, go there. And then you have to hire people to do all of these things. And that is money you're spending to hire these people to maintain these things and to maintain the semi, like you said, when you move from paper to Excel, you're not really using tools. You're just doing probably semi-digital transformation. And then you crown it as, oh, we're actually using tools. But there are things that can actually make this process easier. Rather than come here, you're making payments at point A, you move to point B to have it stamped, move to point C to have it stamped. Everything can be done in automation from point A. They can have whatever you're trying to pay, if it's an invoice, they can have it verified, stamped, invoiced you, give you your receipts, and everything is done at that point, rather than you moving A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So that is the real difference I've seen, and that is what makes businesses successful. Time, efficiency. If we can learn that as businesses, as small business owners, as medium-sized business owners, to never sacrifice time and efficiency, then we'll have a very prospering business and we'll be able to compete with the Western world.
Thank you so much. Can we clap for him? From what I got, time efficiency. Do not use, when we're talking about mind shifts, you need to prioritize time. If this task can take a particular number of hours, you need to use it for that. And so thank you so much. My next question will be for our researcher, Bukola Mao Taiwo from Unilag. The question is, you're a researcher, right? Did I get that correctly? So which means you deal with data
Yeah.
and trends.
Yes.
Awesome. So my question is, what does the future hold? Or what future trends or potential collaborations, either locally or internationally, do you foresee as, that can help MSMEs undergo successful digital transformations? Let me come again. What future trends or potential collaborations, either locally or internationally, do you foresee as that can help MSMEs undergo successful digital transformations?
Thank you very much. All right. I do not want to repeat what my other panelists have said, but for the MSMEs, I think the future is very bright. And the reason why I said so is that we're a major determinant of where the economy of Nigeria is going. I like the fact that we were mentioning tools here, but I'd like to give us some insights as to how we can get the best from the tools we are using. One of the things I'd like to mention is the fact that as MSMEs and SMEs, when we use tools, for us to guarantee the future and ensure that we remain in the business landscape that will determine the future of Nigeria, we should learn to also humanize those tools. Most times when I go to apps, small businesses that own apps, I find reviews and I also find feedbacks. Most of the time, the owners of the business do not respond to those feedbacks. Those feedbacks have the capacity to improve your business or do otherwise. And let me tell you what you're doing if you are not allowing your business to grow. Because you are a major determinant of what happens in Nigeria, it means Nigeria cannot grow without you. So feedbacks are very, very important. Number two, one of our panelists here talked about having to respond 24 hours. Very good, brilliant. It's important for you to always be on top of the game. However, I'd also want to advise that one other thing that is important is for you to carry your team along, because you can't do the job alone. I don't know, even the woman selling pure water on the street, I'm not sure she can thrive alone. Just one bowl of pure water that the capital is not up to 20,000 naira. She needs somebody to help her send it to somebody. And then nobody here has a business of 10,000 naira. So if you're going to grow digitally or transform your organization, you have to carry your team along. And you cannot carry a team that you don't care about along. Do they really have a sense of belonging? Now, when we say business is closed, most of the time it's the staff that close businesses. Do you agree with me? Most of the time. And most of the time, it's because of how you make them feel as their CEO. Now, I agree with you that you don't have to pay all the big salaries, but people know when you love them. Even if you don't pay much, people know when you love them. And when people know you love them, most of the time, 80%, it determines how they will handle your business. And it also determines how they will respond to the feedbacks you are getting. Now, the last time I spoke on a panel like this, I talked about who your customer is. And people agreed that it is somebody that buys from you. I disagreed with them, because your logistic person is your customer. Now you have the tools. You've used the app to bring him to you, to pick up the goods, but you treated him like a stupid person. The next time he hears that somebody needs your product, you have the app, but there's somebody who is a human being who was displeased. That leads us back to customer experience. What experiences are people taking back from us? We should leverage on all these things to ensure that we prepare our businesses for the future. As we are working with the tools, we should also work with the human beings and ensure that human beings have the best experience. Lastly, I'd like to talk of culture. Now, I know we all have recipes that we are protecting, but human beings are social beings. And we do not like to be where we do not learn or grow. There are aspects of your business you like to keep to yourself, but there are aspects you need to handhold them. One of the reasons why we don't want to go digital most times is because we are afraid to fail. Allow your team to fail. Let them use the app. I mean, you have to mitigate risk, definitely, but let them use the app. Let them connect digitally. Let them make the mistakes. Most of the time, their learning will come up when they make those mistakes. And you have also, in creating a culture wherein they are not asked to make mistakes, learning becomes a lifelong culture. And when learning becomes a lifelong culture in your organization, then I can assure you that there will be business growth and this future will be assured. I want to stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we please clap for her? Mr. Daniel Kemka. My question to you is, are there any specific technological advancements or digital strategies that MSMEs in Nigeria should prioritize to stay competitive? Let me come again. Are there any specific technological advancements or digital strategies that MSMEs in Nigeria should prioritize to stay competitive?
All right, thank you very much. Now, another question. Share something. There is what is called the mind share. I don't know if anybody knows about that concept called mind share. So let me just give you a brief background. I grew up in Lagos. I was born in Lagos. How many of you, when you were young, you go to the supermarket to buy a product and you say, I want to buy close-up. Which one? McLean. I want to buy Indomie. And I grew up in a place where I didn't know that there was anything called toothpaste. All right? Because they called it close-up. Now, I grew up in an environment where I didn't know that there was anything called seasoning cube. We all knew Maggi. Now, one of the reasons why these products had a permanent stay in our minds is because of what I call visibility. Now, mind share is being able to have your product in the mind of people. It now becomes a part and parcel of them. For example, most people here came with probably Taxify or Uber. And so, for example, if you want to go somewhere, you say, before I get there, I will just Uber it. Now, if I ask you a question, the next thing you say, I'll go and Google it. Google has become like a household name. Now, as a brand visibility strategist, one of the things I want to help brand businesses do is to help their names become a household name. Something that they can be able to, that people can be able to relate with by default. Sometimes, everybody here, most times when you feel maybe the sun is too much, the next you want to take is Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Now, the reason why these companies have been able to thrive is because of the concept called mindshare. There are several strategies, several tools, but there's one I want to focus on, which is on what I call content writing. Now, content writing has a way of helping you to learn how to create something that would earmark you or differentiate your brand from the rest. You will agree with me that you are not the only one selling your product, true or false? There are many competitors. So the question I want to ask is, what makes your product different from the others? What is it that earmarks you? There are so many, the business world is competitive. We have several competition. Sorry, let me say this. Last year, I was supposed to do an advert for a company. I was called like a modeling company. And we met at GRA Ikeja. It's something I observed. There was a table water, Eva, and another table water. And immediately they saw another table water. They asked the owner to remove it because it does not represent the brand that was there. That's Coca-Cola. They're part of the sponsor of that advert. What does that tell you? It tells you that branding is very, very important in your business. Irrespective of how good or how quality or how fantastic your product is, if you don't know how to differentiate it from the others, you would not go far. You will not go far. So, which brings me to what I call the marketing. Right now, I'm even training people on content marketing, content writing. Using one of the strategies is using storytelling. If you observe, some of the products that have you have imbibed into your system were successful because they use storytelling as a strategy. If you agree with me, there are several products. The time will fail me to start giving names of several products. And so, one of the tools that you can use to differentiate your product in this competitive industry or in your industry as an MSME is what I call digital marketing. And so they have several aspects of digital marketing, but the one I want to focus is a wide topic, but the one I want to focus here on is content writing. If you learn how to create content, use storytelling as one of your strategies. Number one, your audience, your customers will be able to identify your product. They'll be able to identify what you do based on what you want to, based on your story about your product. Now let me give an example. If I want to advertise soap, for example, because I try to break my stuffs down for everybody to understand. If I want to advertise soap, for example, and then most of you, if you observe, you will see, maybe if I've observed that maybe other soaps don't do exactly what I do, and I want to create a product that will help body itching. I can create a story about somebody who is itching, and then I now present my product as the only or perfect solution to that. And when you're able to create that kind of story, what happens? That is why advertising companies, they use storytelling. And they use visual images to do that. So you can use storytelling, you can use visual or writing for your storytelling. And when you're able to succeed in doing that, what happens is that your product becomes a part and parcel of it becomes a part and parcel of your customers in such a way that whenever you need that product, the first thing that comes to your mind is your product. Hello? Just the same way Google has made their brand a solution. Any question you want to ask, the next thing you want to ask is Google. Thank God for ChatGPT right now. A lot of people are making use of ChatGPT. So if you have any question, the next you want to go to ChatGPT. So if you are able to learn how to use storytelling, irrespective of the business you are into, can be product or service, learn how to use storytelling and content writing to be able to promote your product, because that is what will differentiate you from the rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we please clap for him? I said earlier that if you have questions, you could send in your questions. At the moment, I've received one question, but if you still have other questions, you could send them in. And also remember, we are still live streaming. So if you have somebody who you want to join this program, you could send them the link. Also, let's remember that there's lunch. So have that at the back of your mind. Okay, so let me take the question that somebody sent in. It says, one of the problems in Africa is lack of succession plan for business. That is why business businesses do not live long. With innovation and digital transformation, how can we make use of it to manage businesses for sustainability and succession plan? Let me take it again. It says one of the problems in Africa is lack of succession plan for businesses. That is why businesses don't live long. With innovation and digital transformation, how can we make use of it to manage business for sustainability and succession plan? Anybody can answer the question.
Okay, let me just drop something about this. I think I've discussed with someone as regards this before. That's why I just want to drop something, then my guys would answer the rest. That's what they call structure. Now, one of the reasons why most businesses don't outlive the owner, based on what the question is because most of these businesses lack structure. And so when you don't have a structure, what I mean structure is something you create that everybody will have to abide by that structure, whether you're there or not. I call it system and structure. You know, some years back, I did network marketing, and there's this acronym we use for system. Save yourself time, energy, and money. So when you create a system and structure, whether you are there or not, it functions by itself. And so if any business that wants to outlive the owner, and I don't want to mention names of several businesses we've heard of. As soon as the owner dies, the business dies with that person. But if you want to succeed, you want to ensure your business outlives you, ensure you learn how to create a system and a structure in such a way that whether you are there, because somebody will ask you, I know a lot of people, when they open their shops, maybe something happens, they lock their shop, the business goes. So the question I want to ask you is, if you decide to travel out today, will your business still function? That should make you start thinking. God forbid, if something if something happens to you now, will your business still function? That should make you think to start creating system into your business.
Thank you so much. You can answer it in about 1 minute because we have other questions that have come in.
Okay. All right. So to answer the question is, like he said, it's about structure. With digital transformation and innovation, what it helps you to do is not the idea itself, it's not the business. Digital transformation is not the business, it's an enabler. It helps you to implement, it helps you to like have a seamless transaction, and it helps you with efficiency. So how can you, the only thing it can help with is because you have data. So with data analytics now, you know that, oh, last year, this is what we did. Why this man was reigning or was ruling the company. This is what he did. So you need to leverage on data and be able to, when we say leverage on data, if you garbage in, garbage out. If you don't put in data, you can't get the data out. So you need to be data conscious. All your transactions, all your communication should be recorded. So when the next person is coming, they know where to start, they know how to start, and the processes you use to like get a result. So that's how to like effectively leverage on data to have a better succession plan. Well, the other part, technology cannot raise the dead. It cannot revive the sick, but then is an enabler to your business. Just use the right tools and the right application as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Please clap, 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 clap. Yeah, you can go ahead.
But I didn't want to say something about this, but when she mentioned something struck me. So I'm going to give you a practical, real life example. When I first got back to Nigeria after my degree about 9 years ago, you have a sharp degree here, and one of its they will tell alumni is you have to go out there. The core of my school, you have to go out there and you have to conquer. So I knew that for me to conquer, I wouldn't have to work for someone. But coming back to Nigeria, the reality was you have to get a job. after you spent that huge amount of money. So I was at GT Bank, right? But before I joined GT Bank, I had a business. I had this idea to industrialize Nigeria, big idea. I wanted to do what they do in China. China was able to get their economy where it is today because they looked at their strength and they were like, the best way for us is go out there, learn about these things, come back to our nation, industrialize by implementation. And so I started a branding company. And this branding company, what it does was it produces any sort of branding item for companies, like say from t-shirts to hoodies to cups, mugs, from scratch, right? And some of our biggest clients then were GT Bank, EcoBank, RCCG. So we had like massive contracts coming in. And then after 3 years, she mentioned something, said, record every single thing. After 3 years, I was moving on to greater things. My younger brother was there. He was with me every step of the way. And I handed that business over to him. Do you know that I did not tell him a single thing? I didn't tell him anything. I didn't tell him who our contractors were, who we get this supply from, and he did everything splendidly. He ran that business for another 5 years before he also moved on to something else. And that business still auto-runs by itself. Nobody is bringing in its own revenue annually. It's doing very fine on its own. But as you're looking at me, I've not stepped my foot in that factory in the last do anything. But I get the reports. And it is because I knew that the best way to have a sustainable business is I have to do every single thing. So running my company now, there's something I do. I'm the CEO of this company. Things pass through me. If I want my company to be the next Coca-Cola, if I want my company to be Microsoft, look at Steve Jobs. He's long gone, about 4 or 5 years now, right? But Apple is succeeding. Like, they're really doing fine. They've gone past being $1 trillion company and still successful because he left what is called a blueprint. So for me, what I do in my business is I make copies of every decision I've ever made, everything I've ever signed, everything I have access to, so that if they look for me, like they say they look for your enemy and they don't find your enemy, Nigerians. If they look for your enemy and they don't find your enemy, your business won't die. For you to be a business owner, for you to sweat it out to build a business, even if you're in your grave and you find out that something you've labored so much to build to went crumbling down, all because you had no more, it would hurt you 10 times. So let's all have that. You don't have to be very secretive. There are some things that are intellectual property, right? Intellectual property like Coca-Cola, where 2 people in the world have access to the formula. Those things can actually be safeguarded, but there are some things that you know that these are processes that makes my entire business structure effective. Make it open. Find trusted people that you can actually work with and have a successive line of people who can actually take over your reins or take over from someone else if that business was to, say, go out of your hands. Thank you very much. I'm going to let other people speak.
All right, thank you. You still want to speak on it? Okay, in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. Thank you to all the speakers who have spoken. In my estimation, I think the problem of succession in Nigeria is much deeper than that. And it's something that is around the culture that has grown around how we experience governance and how, if you think about it, since you've been born as a Nigerian, you have been the government to yourself. You tie your own roads, you provide your own electricity, you provide your own power, provide your own water. You have become very self-sufficient. And that's why it's very difficult for Nigerians to collaborate. And that's why their businesses are run individually. If we don't understand the root cause of a problem, it's very hard for us to solve for it. Yes, systems and structures are important, we've seen systems and structures still built around the CEO, and nothing happens without the CEO, still approving. So I think that the problem is much deeper. We have to really go back to that fear that we have of collaboration. It's very, very hard for Nigerians to collaborate. And if we don't start collaborating, it's very difficult for our businesses to outlive us. It's just the truth. So in my estimation, the solution to that is to start very small. Look for businesses in your community that you can collaborate with. I have bread, you have beans. Let's sit down together and sell this thing together. Together, we provide a much bigger value to our customers than individually. It's very simple. If you start to do that, thank you. If you start to do that, if you succeed on a small scale, it's easier to succeed on a larger scale. And that way, you would have a business that is bigger than anything, that even when you are not there, it is just going to continue to run. So I think the solution really is collaboration, and then it can scale.
Thank you so much. Can we please clap for him? We have some other questions, and I will direct this to, let me see, we go direct this to Ozioma. Let's have Ozioma. I've not spoken since. Yeah, so it's one of the problems of MSMEs is access to finance. How can they access funds at the barest cost? You're an SME yourself, so you should have some ideas.
Okay, yes. So there are different ways you can access finance. Of course, if you want to start a business, you have to start strapping. It means that you're going to start using your savings to invest in that you believe in. The second one will be asking friends and family and raising funds and ensuring that you pay back. So not when your brother who is Simj or your sister gives you money, you say, they have too much money, and you forget that they gave it to you on trust for business and you don't pay back. That's already building a bad credit history. Third would be to look for equity funding. People who, when you started your business, have seen that it's growing and they're interested in getting a portion of your business as equity, so that as they grow in future, they can actually earn interest as income from it. The third one will be raising finance from banks, commercial banks. Now, honestly, it is very difficult for small businesses who do not have all of those requirements to get finance from banks. But I know that there's LAPO, there's Shicluded for one. So there are network and communities where you can get funding at some rates that may be quite high, but if what you're doing is profitable, then you can check your books and assess them. And most importantly, there's grants, and I'm a beneficiary of the Sterling Bank AgroPitch grant, and I'm happy they're in this room today. And these opportunities are online. It is why we need to be online. It is why we need to, like I said earlier, people who want to give out these monies know that the people that they want to give to are on social media. They are on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or Twitter, on X. So these are some of the avenues where you can raise funding. But beyond all of this, the past speakers have spoken about structure. Nobody gives money to a business that does not seem to have a head and tail. And that is why you must put structure in your operations, in your day-to-day activity, in your processes, right? Because if it's scatter, jaga, even your family members know. They know that if they put money here, it's like sinking fund, it's not going to come out, so they won't give you. Even the money that you've put in, you won't be seeing it. So you must also acquire knowledge. So asking is relative. You won't ask somebody on the streets, like, can I do this? You must actively seek knowledge and build your knowledge base and empower yourself. So many trainings go on. I'm a beneficiary of the ICSS. First, I saw it online and I applied. I was shortlisted and I gained knowledge. And in my introduction, we talked about growth plan. Before then, I knew a lot of things I was doing in my business that was right because I came from a place of structure. But the truth is that I've never heard of a growth plan before. And in that period, it was intense because we had to actively put our month-on-month growth plan. Like there was a template to fill. It went to as how many products we are going to make money, how many staff we are going to recruit at certain points in your business, how were you going to up your production, how much profits were you looking to earn after a certain period of time for a whole year. And that will just tell you, and as even speak to your cash flow and how long you can survive if you didn't have any sale at all. So those are very important. And there's so many organizations from LSATF to GIZ and so many other firms and organizations putting out these trainings such that you can become more empowered. And sometimes all of these trainings come with grants. Like when you do this, you're the best performing student or participants, then you get some level of funding. So you must keep building yourself as an entrepreneur to survive. And this is not really in answering the question of survivability of your business. So someone has spoken about it being an enabler. Beyond being an enabler is that structure part. And putting people through, training them, and people will leave. But you have to be open-minded enough to keep training and investing so that anybody who even leaves is impacted. They'll know that they're better off how they are living than when they came, that you added something to them. So to round up, those are the ways you can actually assess funding.
Thank you so much. I want to ask the same question. Can we please clap for her, please? Let's clap for her. Same question to Bukola. The question again is, one of the problems of MSMEs is access to finance. How can they access funds at the barest cost?
Thank you very much. So I work at the Entrepreneurship Center and I work a lot with students. And then for that, you know that funding is a major aspect we deal with every time. So, but as an SME, the good thing is that you're already out there, you are already started. And as she said, I'm going to say it again, that networks are very important. If you'll agree with me, if you need 10 million naira today, do you believe you can, how many of us believe you can find it in this room?
Find it where?
10 million naira in this room.
I think I'm seated beside them already.
So the power of networks are very key. And then beyond having the right networks, what's the buy-in for the person wanting to invest in you? I mean, there must be something you are able to put forward. You must be able to tell your story in a convincing way. And then the tools you use are very important at this stage. Those are what will give you the numbers. It is when you use a tool, you'll be able to track, and that this is the trend of my sales. This is the output. This is what gives me what. I can remember last week I was asking the person who sells meat pie to me that, do you know how many meat pies you get from this bag of flour? I've never thought of it. Do you know that you could be here for 1 year and not making 10 kobo, and you are so busy? She said it's true. So those things are very important. If she's going to get a loan now, those questions, she can't answer them. And banks don't waste their time. Once you can't answer, you are off. So those basic knowledge are important. I'm doing a project now. And what I'm doing is to tell these stories I'm telling about how it is important for people to count, to measure in Yoruba language. Please don't be surprised. I'm a researcher, but I'm a street researcher. So the idea is that some of them can't speak those languages. So I communicate to them in Yoruba to say, Shetika Ojain, Meloni, because if LSCTF comes, those are the questions they will ask you. And if you can't answer, there are no loans. So I bring it down now. Traditionally, we all have communities of practice. Let me break it down. It's not a big English. Communities where we do things together and we put money together. When I said 10 million naira now, and you can get it now, It is because there are 10 people who have 1 million naira. We can pull those funds together, and then I wait till next year, June, to get mine. It works. And then your reputation also matters. If you don't have 2 or 3 people at least you can call that you need 2 million naira today, it means there's something wrong with your networks. And it's also, I like to also state this, that when we are networking, let it be balanced. There are people above you and there are people below you. Many of us forget to network with the people below us. But I tell you, there's a housemaid who can tell Naaman where he will get the solution. But if you don't network with the housemaid, he won't be able to tell you that, my boss sells this thing. If you need 5,000 pieces, she'll supply it to you, but you will give us more money. And then the conversation starts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we please clap for her? I'm a very strong proponent of networking. Those of you who have been at my sessions, you know, because I believe that the people you know, to a very large extent, can help to define the kind of future that you want for yourself. And so thank you so much, Ma. We have a couple of other questions, directed questions time around. This is directed at Per. It's what is the cost implication of this paradigm shift we are talking about? Yes. What is the cost implication of this paradigm shift for MSMEs?
Before I answer that question, God bless you so much, because something happened when I got the invitation to be part of the panelists. One of the first things I do is I will look at the entire lineup. First off, I saw the CPU of Sterling Bank. I'm like, I wanted to do a project with Sterling Bank. This would be really interesting. And I was seated there, and what you find among people who understand business is they will always network. And he came and he introduced himself. He was like, okay, hi, hello. And I was really excited because that is an icebreaker. I already know what I want to do with him. I think you're from Unilag, right? I'm going to do something with you because we're trying to get one of our products into the upholstery department of Unilag. So me being here, I'm already creating relationship. Now let me move to my business. When you talked about trust and building network, before we got our fundraise, our first fundraise, we bootstrapped our company for over 6 months. Nobody will invest in you if you're not ready to risk it. You're not ready to invest in yourself. And before we got our first, because we don't raise in Naira, we raise in US dollars. Before we got our first $50,000, for instance, because in the startup fintech space and basically the tech space, you have like series of fundraise. You have what we call the pre-seed. Before the pre-seed, you can have like family and friends, and then you have like standard pre-seed, or your pre-seed can be a combination of family and friends and your own investment. And then you have the seed, you have the Series A, Series B, Series C to D to whatever you want to do, right? But do you know that we've not gotten to Series A, but I already know who my investors are, and they are ready to write a check for me once I start Series A, because I've built that relationship from 2021. So if you are a business owner, my only advice to you is, if you want to start a business today, don't just start and start thinking of what you need to do in the next 5 years. Start thinking of people who are going to walk down that road with you. Identify them, connect with them. You might not need them now, you might need them in future. I don't need Sterling Bank now, because I already work with VFD, I already work with Providence Bank. But I know that I need them next year. So I'm going to start that relationship now to make sure that you already know me, you can vet me, you've seen results before I approach you. And by the time I'm approaching you, you won't say no to me. Now, cost implementation, or cost implication, right? Yeah. I think when I started, there was a reason why I talked about time and efficiency. Let me give you the definition of what my company does, because yeah, it's Sproutly. Studying in the US, okay, let me give you the paradigm shift. Schooling in Nigeria, I went to Obafemi Awolowo University, first degree. And when I was in school, it was ridiculous. when you are paying for your tuition, after paying through remitter at the bank, you go to the bursary department. It's really large. You go to point A, you confirm your receipt, you stamp. Point B, you stamp. Terrible efficiency. You miss classes for like a week. And if you're close to exam, you are doomed. Right? But then I got into for my master's, and things were broad. I need to stress myself. Like, I made my payments, right? And my student ID number was connected to everything. You have like some special numbers that will be assigned to you, for student aid, literally everything. There is one unique number you use. And that was all I needed. The instant I paid, I got my receipts, my email, all of the things I paid for, I got instruction for it. I didn't have to move an inch. And if you go to Nigerian universities, Unilag, I'm sure students still queue, long queue to try to, you need to, okay, have you guys improved your process? All right, so you still find most of these things in schools and in all of this. And all of these things, like I said earlier, a lot of cost implication to it. But you think because I'm comfortable with this methodology I'm already using, you don't see the bigger picture or try to understand that if I try to move into something, the reason why technology is developed is to make processes easier, better. So there is nothing like, nobody's bringing a solution that will be more expensive than what is existing. Nobody will buy it. So we're always scared of trying to move into a different structure of transformation because we're so scared of the cost of implementation rather. But we always often forget that if we don't try to move into this, then we won't have increased efficiency. We won't have increased output because the world is moving differently. Somebody mentioned and said, oh, you're trying to make payments. Nothing annoys me so much. My estate has a supermarket. And anytime I go there, I complain about their customer service. Terrible, because I'm already used to a system where things are easy. You tap and go. And you walk in there and they tell you, okay, our POS is not working. This. I'll say, haven't you heard of money points? Must you use this thing that would, yes, POS exists, but there are solutions that have made it faster, that the runtime is faster, output is faster. And then they, the PS, no, can you do transfer? I'll say, so if I didn't come to the supermarket with my phone, I'll have to walk back to my house, get my phone, make a transfer to you. I won't want to come here again. That supermarket refused to improve on their process. And before you knew it, a new supermarket opened across the estate road, and all of the estate people started flocking there because they were tired of the downtime they were having with their POS machine and everything. They had a process that was working, but money points came into the market, PalmPay came into the market, OPay came into the market, and they gave faster transaction. That is an improvement. They don't want to do it because they feel they will start having to pay for new POS machines. But you are trying to save money, right? But at the end of the day, you end up losing money. So the best advice I give anybody, do not ever, I said we save over 300 million in operation costs just because we unified our entire system and we use a tool that can actually do a lot of things. That's aside the operation. People, we pay less people from, sorry, this is really bad to say, but we moved for a particular team that had over 28 people, we downsized to 14 by just using tools. But when we downsized to 14, the 14 people were paid twice their salaries, right? And those tools are working efficiently, they are less stressed. Don't ever sacrifice efficiency, time because of money. Because at the end of the day, that money you're trying to save, you will lose everything. And then your competitor next door will just grab your cake because they understand what it means to run a business. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we please clap for him? So far, so good. I think it's been great. Right? Do you agree? Have you been enjoying the conversations? I still have a couple of questions here. Some of them are directed. But one thing that I've gotten from the conversations is network. That's one thing. Like these people now, they're already my own people. Nobody should call me. I'm going to network with them. So look at someone beside you and make sure that you network with them, because you never can tell. He said something. The person that is seated beside you, may not the person now. It might be the next 5 years, as a matter of fact. But if you've not built that relationship, by the time you need a person, the relationship will not make sense. The person will not want to, because it was not built. There are levels to this thing. So you have to be deliberate about building the relationship. So if there's anything that I would say I have gotten personally, and I hope you will get, is networking. So please do not leave this premise. I know there's still food coming in, but don't let that be the only reason why you're still waiting. Make sure that you network with somebody. Do you want to add something to that? Okay, so the next question is to Gloria. I don't know why this person specifically wrote to Gloria, but, and the person used a red pen. I don't know why, but the person did not put his or her name, but I'll ask the question anyway. You sent me a question, so I'll ask the question. So he said to Gloria, what are the 4 ways of starting digital transformation? And you could mention them in your presentation. That's what the person said I should tell you. What are the 4 ways of starting digital transformation? And you could mention them in your presentation. That's the person's instruction. In my presentation. That's what the person said. He or she used a red pen. Yeah, maybe because she's wearing red. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm getting it.
All right. Thank you so much for asking that question, whoever you are. And to answer that question, so starting a digital transformation is first your mindset. You need to change whatever is there. So like, oh, it's not ambiguous. It's not far-fetched. It's not what I don't know. It's just the little things you can do right now. Creating changes in your product, creating changes in your customer experience, how customers, like at the core of it, have customers at the center of whatever you're doing. Customer centricity is very important. So change your mindset, and then you need to adapt to existing tools and technologies is very important. And you need to understand what digital transformation means to your business. So maybe Amazon is totally different. What they need digital transformation for is totally different from what you as an SME need digital transformation for. Now you are scaling from, let's say, 100 customers to 1,000 customers or 1 million. So what are the things you need? Understand your need, your why and how. Then you need to move over to saying that, okay, now that I know what digital transformation is, you need to change your model. So don't just jump and say, oh, today this Gloria talked about Zoho, Gloria talked about Trello and all that, and you're jumping to like download and start using them. No, understand your process first. Understand that why do I need this thing? What do I need? Then you need to start making modification to your model, your business model. So maybe what you have before, what have you been operating with? Then you change it to what is efficient, what is more seamless, right? So that's where you're starting from. I think I've mentioned like 3 things. Then you need to also understand that, okay, whatever you're going to build, you need to have strategy. So if your focus is customer satisfaction or customer experience, what strategy are you going to use? They talks about digital marketing and content marketing. How are you reaching your customers and how are you creating awareness? They also talk about networking. From here, you can even, when you talk to me, you probably know that I have an event coming up and I need maybe like 1,000 food packs. From there, you are getting a deal already. So you need to also network. I need to understand the need of your customers is very important. Are you solving a real problem? So you need to understand that as well. And then you come to finance, probably at the end of the day. You come to finance because there are so many free tools you can use to like make your product or your process very seamless. So so you come to finance. And I got to just discover earlier this May, June and all, that that money is always on the table. You just need to know how to get it. People are giving out grants every single day, especially if you're a woman in this house, in this room. Please don't go home without you having a strategy to get money from people that are ready to give you money. So I think Bukola, right? She talks about how to get grants and all. So it's very important. So the first thing you need to get your books and your numbers. You need to know your numbers. You don't just come out blank. You need to understand your numbers for you to be able to get money. You need to network properly. You need to also, your product, is this solving a real-time issue? What problem is your product solving? So but they don't give you money if you're not solving a real-time issue, if you don't know your numbers, and if you don't know where you're going to. So with that, I think you'll be able to start your digital transformation journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're gradually coming to the end of this panel session. We just have one question that somebody sent in, and I'll address this to Mr. Yodeji, and we'll wrap up with that. So the question is, how does innovation and digital transformation assist MSMEs to identify markets and sustain them? Let me come again. How does innovation and digital transformation assist MSMEs to identify markets and sustain them?
Okay, that's just asking, how can we use digital tools to market, and how can we use that to keep our customers? It's very simple. First of all, everyone has a smartphone, right? Therefore, you should not let your smartphone be smarter than you. That's the first rule. Your smartphone should not be smarter than you. It means that you should be able to ask questions on your smartphone that can deliver answers to you. So the first thing I'm going to say is be visible. That is the entire definition of marketing. Be visible. How do you become visible? It's by showcasing what you're selling, showcasing the processes of how you make what you make, and showcasing them on platforms where people consume this content. I'm going to share with you the order in which people consume content so that you know the type of content you should be creating. Number one, the content that people consume the most is video content with people in it. The content that people consume the most is video content with people in it. If you check your phone now, all the apps that consume all of your data are the places where you watch video. And the types of videos you watch the most are of people doing one thing or the other. That's the most consumed type of video, which means if you're creating marketing videos and you want your videos to be watched by a lot of people, it needs to be videos of either you doing something or some of your staff doing something. However, we have this challenge as business owners. We are afraid to put ourselves in our marketing content. Am I right? We have that challenge. I know it because we've trained 70,000 business owners. And the fact is that if you don't start putting yourself in front of that camera to start showcasing what you do and how you do what you do, the people who are doing it are getting all of the customers. When are you going to start digitally transforming if you don't take those steps? So it's very simple. Even if you can't do a video of yourself today, start by showcasing videos of your products. That doesn't have you in it, but that is the second most consumed content. Any other type of video is the second most consumed content on social platforms, followed by photos, images, graphics, and followed by text. I've just mentioned the order in which people consume content. So that's the first thing, be visible. A hack for that is to use what we call the fast and frequent channels, Facebook stories, WhatsApp status. How long does content last on those channels? 24 hours. If the content is going to disappear in 24 hours, is there a need for you to not post it? It's going to be gone in 24 hours. But in that 24 hours, what happens? You get a lot of visibility. And that is what marketing is visibility, not perfect content. Because that is what you are afraid of. Is my content going to be perfect? No. Your content doesn't need to be perfect. In fact, there is no such thing as a perfect piece of content because it can always be better. But you need your content to give you visibility so that people can start asking questions and those conversations can lead to transactions. Secondly, use WhatsApp Business. Use all the features that you have on WhatsApp Business. If people send you a message for the very first time, they should get a greeting message. Don't use that default message that comes with it. It's very bland. It's very, very uninviting. Customize it to yourself. My WhatsApp greeting message says, "Thank you for reaching out. I'm probably somewhere changing the world. I will be with you before you can finish 2 bottles of Coke." Feel free to copy it. The idea is greet someone. Let them feel welcome when they see that message. Secondly, use the WhatsApp catalog. The catalog allows you to put your products and your services. You can put up to 500 products on WhatsApp catalog. In fact, you need no website. Nigerians love WhatsApp. They're not going to buy anything from you without chatting with you. So make sure that you have your products on your catalog. If they're asking you what products you have, send them a link to the catalog. That is you using digital transformation to actually innovate in your business. You're not telling them, we have this, look at our catalog. All our products are there. They can see the prices, they can see the descriptions, they can add it to carts, they can send it to you as a message. Thirdly, use the labels. On WhatsApp Business, you have a feature called labels. Labels allows you to stay organized. Most times, you're not going to save the number of some of the people who are chatting with you, but you can color code those conversations. If there are people who are hot leads, people who are likely to buy from you in December, have a specific label that you will use to identify those guys. 1st of December, they are the first people you should be chatting with. If there are people who are owing you money, create a label for the unique basic people, add their names there, so that when it's time for you to collect your money, you can easily identify people who are owing you money. Today, we have AI. AI is everywhere. Today, nobody should have an excuse to say, I don't know how to write content. All you need to do is ask ChatGPT, I want to do this, give me ideas of content I can use to write for my social media posts. It will give you 30 days worth of content. Today, you don't even need to be a graphic designer. There are AIs that can help you create graphic and imagery. So, how are you using it? The point is, you have a smartphone. Your smartphone has access to all of these things. You should not let your smartphone be smarter than you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we give him a round of applause? And now we're coming to an end, but I need, let's say 10 seconds, just each person give us a 10-second summary. Let's start with you. 10 seconds, just give us a parting word in 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. Nigerian MSMEs are resilient, and it's taking us from one level of growth to the other. So I want to say well done. It is not easy to be an employer of labor and not have 100% support. But we are grateful for platforms like GIZ, MSME platforms, LCCI, who are putting events like this together and encouraging us to do more.
Thank you. Please, let's stick to the 10 seconds.
Thank you. So digital transformation is possible. We just need to be fearless. Tell your neighbor, fearless.
Fearless.
Fearless
Thank you.
and launch. Thank
you.
Don't be afraid to press your phones. It's you that use your money to buy the phone. It's not going to explode. Explore, look for opportunities, and collaborate. I think collaboration is the answer to a lot of our problems. Let's start to learn to collaborate.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for having me. So for free tools you can use Canva for your designing, like you design flyers and all. You can use Wave, like I said earlier, for your accounting and all. And you can also use Asana, there's Zapier, there is also Trello and Slack for your meetings. You can also use Google Meet, Zoom for your meeting as well. There's also Teams, but it's more expensive, so stick to that. And if you need any other tool you want to use, you can just reach out to me here, or you can just contact me via LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I'll just advise everyone to network, build your network. And rather than use all of these tools, there is something better. It's called Zoho One. It has 45 business sheets and it's about 7,900 naira per month. You'll be able to do your CRM, your marketing, it connects to your social media, does everything. So if you have a very slim team, that is the best app to use. You don't have to log into multiple and have multiple passwords. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for having me. Basically, content writing visibility is one of the things you need to grow your business. And it is important that as a business person, you must always show up in your business. Don't just post, for example, you're making your Facebook or WhatsApp. Create something that will ensure that you are showing up every day. And also learn how to use storytelling as one of the best tools to be able to create content for yourself so that you can attract customers to your business and grow.
Thank you so much. And my name is Leki Ademo. I want to say thank you. Please, can you please clap for our panelists as they take their seats? Please clap, clap, clap. Okay, want to take a picture? Please just hold on. Hold on. Want to take a picture? So I would like to also invite the committee to join this picture. Are they around? Yes, please just join as well, Mr. Lawa and other committee members. All right, please, can you clap for them as they take their seats? Let's clap, let's clap. We are gradually moving to the next stage. And please do not leave until I've met you. You know, you are my own people. Okay, and so we're moving to the next part of the program. So I would like to invite the committee members before they go back to their seats, Mrs. Bosea Gray and Mrs. Paula Misiadu. We're taking the next part of the program, which is action plan and next steps, including Q&A. So that's the steering committee, Mrs. Bosea Gray and Paula Misiadu. Can we please clap for them as they come up? Let's clap for them as they come up.
I'm so excited this afternoon. As at yesterday, we were scared that the location, the timing, the season, and everything, we're not sure the outcome of today. But I am so excited to see the outcome of today. And I like to say that if you have been here in the last 2 hours, it's not an accident of history, but you have been divinely ordered to come and upgrade your mind, your business, and your outlook. This ecosystem meeting, which started sometime last year, or in the last 2 years, we had the ecosystem. It started like a joke. It started like those of us who were implementing partners to a few international organizations, including the GIZ, were to come together and bring our MSMEs that were being trained and upgraded through our work. And we brought all of them together to form this ecosystem. And with the help of our MSME expert, Mr. Ishmael Lawal, an astute, diehard MSME expert. Resilient, yes. He's a powerhouse, and he's a young man but quite dynamic. He's moved all of us, stirred us up from our place of complacency, our place of nothingness, to who we are today, what we are today, through the organization called GOPA, through GIZ setting. And, the system has expanded to the place where we now have ecosystem partners who are all here today. Amazing, amazing partners. Some people say the Gen Z, don't listen to them, but they're actually the people to listen to. And then the ecosystem is made up of both the private and the public sector, those in business, those in government. So this is a fusion of all of government, all of society. And then we have the banking sector, which we do need expressly as MSMEs. And we also have the business sector, and that's why you see a lot of vibrant young men and women today who have come to share their experiences, who have come to expand our knowledge, who have come to transform our mindset, who have come to take us from a place of ignorance to a place of knowledge and impartation. We'd like to express our thanks to all of our partners. The steering committee also comprises of everyone in the government and also in the private sector. We are of the civil society organization, and we have been able to work with MSMEs. Between the implementing partners of ValueCon, Hope Builders, and Web of Hearts Foundation, we trained over 10,000 participants, MSMEs, who are in the field today, needing this ecosystem for the next level. We would like to share also with you our action plan for the year to come. This is our last meeting for the year, and I'm happy that it's so endowed, especially with the caliber of panelists that we had today. Very enriching, very timely. Yes, I don't know if the jotter we gave to you left it empty, but mine is full, because every word that came forth was transforming. It was hitting me hard from where I was sitting. And I'm so ready to go and share it with my constituency, share it with my MSMEs on different platforms. There are things that we heard today that we need to hear. You cannot be too much of an expert. These are young men who have gone deep into research, who have worked their mindset into a new person, into a new vision, and they are running hard with it. And they are making huge strides and huge success. We need to hear from people like this. And I'm so happy that this ecosystem has afforded us this opportunity to bring this array of persons to talk to us today, to enrich us today. If you are not a part of the ecosystem, please, as far as you have signed that register today, you are automatically adopted. And that means that you are now a member of the ecosystem. So you're going to be getting information about our next meetings and about our next steps. Our next ecosystem meeting like this should be sometime about March, right? About March. So we are encouraging you to please open your calendar, be ready to receive our invitation. We also want you to send us more of your details so that we can know in which aspect of the ecosystem you need to function. Today, for instance, we'll look at this hall. It was decorated by an MSME, somebody who also was a participant and a beneficiary of the ICSS training. The person who did the banner and all of the visibility materials is a TFC. That's TFC. They told you who a TFC is. Somebody also who, was trained to retrain. And you can see the impact of what he has produced and the visibility that he also gave to this meeting to make it a huge success today. We're indeed thankful to our MSME expert, Mr. Ishmael Awa, who continues to go into the ocean to dig out big fish, for which reason we are here today. If you have any questions about the ecosystem, please, we would send our contacts to you via our thanks email or thanks messages to you. And if you also wish to be, and we are saying that a lot of you should be in the steering committee. This meeting was not put together by Tinubu or Fashola, or what's our governor's name, Sanwo-Olu. It was put together by partners in the ecosystem. Sterling Bank, GIZ, Sardine, the POs, the partnering organizations like us, members of the steering committee, SMEDAN, LSCTF, LCCI. I don't know, I hope I'm not going to be in trouble for, and others. We all came together, put resources together to have this meeting. And I tell you, whatever sacrifice that was made by GSZ and every other organization today is worth it, because what we received today, if we have to replicate it, that means that we're saying that so many MSMEs are going to come this time in March to give us feedbacks of what this meeting today is bringing to them. We're going to transcribe, transform, and transpose and send forth everything that has happened here today so that we can multiply the success of our MSMEs. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. If you've never been to this program, you are welcome, and we'll hope and look forward to welcoming you again in March. And thanks to all the organizers, thanks to all the other companies that would join us. Please, if you are in a banking, Mr. Pierre, Uzoma and Co., please, we're going to be reaching forth to you to continually enrich, even through virtual means, our MSMEs, and also to contribute financially to help us have a better program so we can have a larger hall, we can reach forth to more people, more MSMEs, and have more ecosystem partners. Thank you very much. May the Lord bless you for coming today, and we pray that you will receive something that is called a special reward just for making the time out to be with us here today. Let my sister round up. Mrs. Adu.
Thank you very much. There's a song writer, a singer, who said in a song, "We all need each other to see life through. I will always pray for you." I just stepped out to a program, and somebody asked a question that why don't NGOs support themselves? And I'm bringing it to us to why don't we support ourselves? We all need each other. Tell your neighbor, I need you. Tell your neighbor, you need me. So let's work together, let's collaborate. As the program is coming to an end, let's network, get people's contacts. You just don't know that person that will help you to the next level. So I want to see a lot of that, going forward. We want collaboration, we want partnerships, we want to work together. And that's what the whole idea of the ecosystem is about. Please, let's reach out to one another. And when we call on you, please, show up. Tell your neighbor, show up. Show up. Show up now. Show up in the next ecosystem event. Thank you very much.
Please, just for additional info, all of the exhibitors today are all MSMEs. They are all beneficiaries of the ICSS entrepreneurship training. And so they have products as a result of this kind of ecosystem meeting. They have branded their products, they're giving their products visibility, and some of the samples of what they can produce are here today. Please don't go away without at least stopping by on their desk to encourage them, patronize them, buy one or two products, get their contacts, patronize them even after today. Thank you very, very much. Oga? Ogami? Are there any questions? Would you want to ask anything? Any questions? In the absence of no questions, see you all in March. And Mr. Leke, maybe rounding up.
Can you please clap for them? Let's clap for them. It's been a great time. I want to let you know that, like I said earlier, it's been streaming, so you can also relive this experience by going to YouTube, the Business Hub. That's where it's streaming at, so you can watch the program again. The Business Hub on YouTube, and you can share with other people as well. I believe that this has been a great time. I also want to encourage us to visit the stands at the back. We have exhibitors. You can check them out if you've not gone there yet and see what they have. We have them. They are all ICSS beneficiaries. So please go and check what they have on the stand. Also, currently, the meal is being served. Can I have Belema up front, please? Belema. So, if you've not gotten your meal yet, please still be seated. It's being served, and it will get to you shortly. Also, the training or the event is gradually coming to an end, but please do not leave without networking. Make sure you use the remaining time while being served to network, meet somebody new. I'm available for meeting. You can come and meet me as well. I'm going to come and meet you as well because I'm a proponent of networking. So can I have Belema talk to us?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. All right. It's just a special invitation. There's an event this Sunday for women-led MSMEs and non-profit. It's called Access to Finance. We had it last year, the first edition. So I'm inviting all the women in this room for the second edition. It's holding this Sunday by 1 p.m. at Dover Hotel at Allen. We're going to be doing three things on Sunday. One, we'll be providing information, like they have said. Two, we'll be building capacity. And three, we'll be giving out grants and credit on the spot. So if you run a business and you're a woman and you run a business, so it's a special invitation for you this Sunday, Dover Hotel exclusive at Ikeja off Allen by 1 p.m. If you have more questions, you can meet me by the side. Thank you very much and have a very good day.
Thank you very much. And gradually we've come to the end of this program, but please do not leave until you meet somebody new. Thank you and God bless. Okay, please can we come for a group picture, please, before you leave? Can we quickly have a group picture in front? Before we leave, please can we come to the front for a group picture? Can we have a group picture, please? Can you quickly come forward? Come forward, let's take a group picture while still networking. Can we come forward? Let's come forward and take a group picture. Thank you, thank you. Please, let's come forward and take a group picture. Hi now. Okay, group picture.